when this thing came down Wednesday afternoon, we meet with the detectives and then personal escort and what have you, and then everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. 4:04 again.
Okay, this person on Reddit made such a great find. It inspired me to go on this entire journey to create this video describing how Jennifer Soto on February 28th, that was D-Day, the day Stephan Sterns, her boyfriend, was arrested for doing horrible things to her daughter, 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Well, that same day, apparently at 4:04 p.m., Jennifer Soto texted Stephan's dad, telling him, imploring him to get Stephan a lawyer now. Have Stephan lawyer up. The amazing thing about it is, this happened only 2 minutes or so, perhaps less, after Jennifer saw these horrific photos of her boyfriend doing horrible things to her daughter. Unfortunately, we can't see it. Jennifer's side is going to be audio only, but we will see what Stephan is doing in the other room at the same time. I kind of synced things up. Jennifer's audio, I'm using the visuals of a different interview day. Jennifer's audio with Stephan's video and audio. And to see how everything unfolded that day, February 28th, Wednesday. So this excellent post comes from Barbie the Stallion on Reddit. So that inspired me to take a look at that whole day.
And Stephan, can you come in here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Honey, you guys soda, but would you like water?
I'm okay for now, thank you.
Okay. Then just give me a second, okay? No. We're just waiting for other people to come.
Okay.
How was your night?
Not great.
Not great.
None of us are getting very good sleep. And lucky if we're getting maybe 4 hours.
Right. Do you need to use the bathroom or anything?
No, I think I'm alright, thank you.
Okay, just give us a few more minutes. I'm just waiting for somebody else to come, okay?
Okay.
Stephan, do you need water or anything while I get you guys set up?
I'm okay.
Okay, cool, man.
So-
Thank you. I'll be with you. So, my name's Evan. I'm one of the supervisors here, man.
Evan.
Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. We'll get you guys set up here shortly.
Stephan, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you actually sit over on this side, please?
Sure.
And I'm just right out here, okay?
Okay.
Something to get you showered. Do you remember what my name is?
I do not, I'm sorry.
It's Myra.
Myra. Thank you, Myra.
Okay.
I'll let you know. I see, that's the good chair. I see. So that's the good chair.
Reference Orange County case 24-013113. Today is February 28th, 2024. Time is approximately 15:49 hours. Detective Acosta, located at Central Operations, conducting an interview with Jennifer Soto, and President is Detective Killis.
Are we going to the president line?
Looks like.
Okay, that hasn't started yet?
I'd have to check. I do not know. I've been out here.
First, let's get a little backstory. So this is what OCSO said happened that day. We're going to hear Jennifer's excuses. We're going to see Stephan try and spin his yarn. You know, he sleeps a lot. They keep him waiting a long time. And it's by design. They're trying to get certain truths out of Jennifer, and they're just not getting it. It was a long day. He didn't leave that room until 9:30 p.m.
Okay, head out there, just wait with her. She'll get you a little bit more water, and then I'm going to check this room, and we will get out of here. Step forward for me.
But I'm sure cops knew it was going to be a long day. At 8 a.m. that morning, they found this childhood sex abuse material on Stephan's cell phone. And then by the end of the day, he's in cuffs. He's literally naked. Now, I had to do some blocking and adjusting because OCSO, I know it's difficult. Redacting is difficult, and it just didn't quite cover everything.
Go ahead, first leg out.
I'm gonna take the belt out of here and put it in the belt.
Okay, second leg out. Thank you very much.
Stephan is still innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but of course not many people have much sympathy for him, or the fact that OCSO gave us this video in the way that they did, because they are wondering, where was Maddie's dignity? Where was her privacy? Where was her agency to just be a little girl, to be a private person? Let me tell you what was happening that morning. That morning, Stephan's phone had been successfully downloaded February 28th. Stamanik, he's within the digital forensics unit. He contacted Corporal Avila to advise him, look, we found this horrible stuff on Stephan's phone. They reviewed the pictures. They saw Maddie in the pictures. I won't get into all the things, but it just wasn't good. It was horrible. And they knew these incidents occurred at the townhome that Stephan shared with Jennifer in Florida, in Kissimmee. They found one of the photos on Stephan's phone. It identified a black mark near the tip of the shaft in this picture. That's when they advised Kissimmee PD of the findings. So now we have Detective Corporal Brandon Ilgen, we're going to see him later, and Detective Mark Morris of KPD, both of them. They responded to the Central Ops Center. At first they're thinking this is just a missing child. Oh no, we gotta find her. Once they found all that horrible stuff on Stephan's phone, they knew, okay, this story goes deeper than what we're thinking.
So you're pretty familiar with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose hand does that look like to you?
I would say it's Stephan's.
Is that Stephan's hand?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So, you and Stephan, have you guys been sexually intimate before in the past?
Yes.
So you're aware of what like his penis looks like and things like that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does this look like Stephan's penis to you?
No.
No? Okay. What about that?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that's his penis?
Might be.
Okay.
If anything, it's not even the penis I'm recognizing, it's the things around it.
So it's the things around it that make you believe it's his penis?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jennifer thinks Wednesday she's just coming with her family to a press conference. And you're going to hear her. She talks about that in the beginning of her interview. Like, are we going to go to the press conference? And later she's going to bemoan the fact, and you'll hear her probably shaking her legs. She's telling the detectives, this is not what I came here for. I thought it was just a press conference. And she makes some very strange statements, especially that text message right to Stephan Sterns' dad, Chris. We're going to hear what he said about what she texted him. And it's so nice to see it now in this timeline, the way I've put it together and done some side-by-sides with the audio and Stephan's visuals to see what was happening when and why cops had Stephan wait so long. So they were conducting the investigation, cops were, early in the afternoon of February 28th. That's when members of Jennifer's family requested travel to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. They wanted to all see this presser. Jennifer and Stephan would end up missing the presser. Jennifer and Stephan were offered a ride by Detectives Hunt and Acosta. They agreed to take those rides and they were driven separately. So Detective Corporal Iljan Morris and another person made contact with Jennifer. As they were speaking with Jennifer, the Violent Crime Squad unit continued to canvass the area. They were looking for video surveillance, and that's when they found a video of Stephan discarding something. They didn't know what yet. They did know what. They figured out what. He was throwing away Maddie's backpack containing her laptop and everything. They saw this video from Monday, February 26, 2024 at 7:35 in the morning. So imagine, before these interviews start, they know all this crap has happened. And they saw, unfortunately, Maddie in the front seat of Stephan's vehicle, wearing a green sweater, slumped over, probably not alive. So they had all this info, and it was coming in and unfolding even more of it as they are bringing Jennifer and Stephan into this location to interview them. You know, divide and conquer. So upon reviewing this evidence, it was determined the Kissimmee Police Department would take the lead, and the case was subsequently turned over to them. That's why you'll hear a bit of flip-flop and, oh, we've got to wait for these detectives in Jennifer's interview. So the Orange County Sheriff's Office was still there in a supporting role. So at 3:34 p.m. that day, February 28th, Stephan's video interview footage began. At 3:44 p.m., we'll see Stephan shambling in, or meandering, as he likes to say, into interview room Ops 1. It's captured by camera number 1. By 3:49 p.m., Stephan is told by Detective Myra Tagler to move from one seat to the other. And then you'll start to hear him bemoaning how uncomfortable that seat is. Like, oh, I get it. Like, that's the more comfortable chair. Now, Jennifer's interview is starting in another room. Detective Myra Tagler is going to end up getting a lot more familiar with Stephan when she's helping the CSI agents at the end view his junk and look for specific markers that will help match up with the penis that was shown in the horrible abuse material photos. You know, they've got this guy dead to rights, but just stay tuned, it's a long video. So that same day, Detective Andrew Calise, along with the sex crimes detective Louis Acosta, interviewed Jennifer. This interview with Jennifer, again, unfortunately, was only audio recorded, and I wish video existed. Jennifer's interview with Detective Acosta began at 15:49 hours, you can hear him say it, which was 3:49 p.m. And I love that Barbie the Stallion on Reddit caught that, because then we're able to put in the timeline exactly when she's texting Chris Sterns at 4:04, right after she finds out what's been going on with Stephan and viewing actual proof. So it was 3:55 p.m. You could hear the thud of the detective's phone on the table. He's showing Jennifer photos of Stephan's hand and his private parts.
So we have these images. And unfortunately, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been doing oral sex, vaginal sex, and things like that.
What makes you guys...
We have photos.
Okay.
We have his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting very sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay?
Shop right now.
Okay. Can I get you anything?
Maybe some water.
Some water? You can just have it if you want to take it. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I can't breathe.
Is this a surprise?
Is there photos of her?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you know how we have his phone? Obviously, that's how we were able to find the photos in there.
A minute later, 3:56 p.m., the detective is telling Jennifer, look, they found these graphic photos on Stephan's phone going back at least the last 2 or 3 years. They didn't even know, I guess, about the older photos. It's been going back since 2019. They would later find evidence of abuse on Stephan's part, but they show him doing these graphic sexual things to her daughter, Madeline Soto. And they're like, are you okay? And you can hear Jennifer just ask for water. She's claiming again like she can't breathe. That's the same thing she told the news. You know, how do you feel when they ask her, how do you feel? I feel like I can't breathe. That's what she continually says, her refrain. At 3:58, the detective who is left alone in the room with Jennifer asks, is this a surprise to you? Jennifer's asking, well, are there photos of her? Meaning Maddie without saying Maddie's name, because it would be redacted. You'll hear silences when they redact Maddie's name throughout all of these interviews. Jennifer says she doesn't want to believe it's true. Can I see some of the evidence? Now, I don't fault Jennifer here because I too am a big evidence person. I just like proof. I just want to see proof, literal proof of things.
I don't want to believe that this is true. Can I see some of that evidence?
What makes you believe that it's not?
I thought I knew him well enough.
You said you thought you knew him well enough?
So, our goal, we want to find her. Can you think of anything of where Stephan would take her? Did they have any special hangout spots? Did they have any places that they would do together while you were at work or you had other things going on in your life?
The only place they would go is hang out at home. There's no place I can think of that they've gone outside. I mean, they've gone shopping to like Target before.
Okay. But anywhere else that you can think of? What are you thinking about right now?
How this can be true? How I missed the signs?
What signs are you saying you missed?
No, like I'm just saying, if there were any signs, I didn't see any.
Right. Like these aren't. I'm not telling you. Like these aren't just Google images that we found. Like these are actual images. And I don't want you to. I don't. But this investigation has taken us down this road. So wherever you think, right now, we want to know so we can go get her safely.
Of course, I just have no idea.
Did Stephan ever take her back down to Newport Richie?
Newport, Florida.
Newport, Florida. I'm sorry.
Alone, no.
Alone? You guys would go together?
Yeah, or I would drive down, just hang out.
Okay. So when Stephan would not stay at the house with you guys, where else would he stay?
In his apartment in his house in Northport, Florida. That's it.
But when he would visit here, he would always stay in your house? He would never go get a hotel or stay at a friend's house or anything like that?
No, just stay at our place.
Okay. Why did he go to Newport, Florida this morning?
This morning?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. I heard a rumor that he possibly went down there.
No.
I don't know. Them is maybe lost in translation.
No, he didn't. We were in the hotel. If anything, he stepped out to go get some Wawa
Okay.
and then came back.
About how long was he gone for?
Um,
Does he have a new phone since we have his, or?
I think his dad may have handed him a new phone.
Okay, do you know the phone number to that new phone?
No.
Okay. What's his dad do?
Works in real estate. I think he's a broker.
So look, we just need any information. Any.
No, I know, but there's nothing I can give you. There's nothing I can.
Did you communicate with Stephan on the new phone with your phone? No.
Then Jennifer sounds like she says, I thought I knew him long enough. The detective doesn't quite hear her either, and he's like, you thought you knew him well enough? This is when she goes into her shell. Whenever she's confronted with hard proof, facts, she starts going really quiet. At 4:01 p.m., the cops are asking if Stephan ever took Maddie down to Northport, Florida, and they're getting the name of the city wrong and everything. It reminds me of Jennifer's other interview on a different day. Everything is so much, she blames Maddie so much. When she stopped herself from saying, you know, I didn't want this to turn into a Woody Allen situation. I was always telling him where the stepdaughter falls in love with, like she cuts herself off, but we know that's what she's about to say. It reminds me of a different point where Jennifer said, why would Maddie go to Northport with him? As if it were Maddie's own choice, as if Maddie were running away with Stephan. At 4:02, they question Jennifer about the new phone that Chris Sterns gave Stephan, and Jennifer says she doesn't know that phone number, never communicated with Stephan on that phone.
I just wanna. I believe you. I wanna believe you, but I won't believe you until I see actual.
Are you sure you want to see that? I'll go get it. Are you sure you want to see that? Take my word of advice. I wouldn't, blow smoke up your butt and tell you, that's a fake picture. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I'll be more than happy to show you those images, but I don't know if I would want to see those. But if you want to see them, that's your own prerogative.
Can you tell me what's being done in the photos?
She has a penis in her mouth. And that picture that you said that the stuff identified that Stephan's penis around her, I zoomed in on that photo because in that picture, it's in her mouth. Do you need any more water? Are you okay?
I literally thought I was coming here for the press conference, but this is not what we're here for.
I know, and it's unfortunate that, these are the details that we found, but I think it's very important now that we kind of sit back, evaluate everything, and kind of think every step of the way where Stephan has been in the past, where he can be right now, because at the end of the day, we want to go get her.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. If I knew anything, I would tell you. I just have no fucking idea where he could be.
So I know
she
that.
Could be.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Or any idea where she could be. I said they, but
Yeah.
He's here.
And Jennifer claims she believes them. She's like, oh yeah, I believe you, but she won't really believe them until she sees evidence. And I'm wondering, okay, is this a ploy to get them out of the room, everyone, so she can text freely, Chris Sterns and ask for a lawyer? I believe it could be. Immediately she's like, uh-oh, they found these images. Now, I don't think Stephan knows this yet. They have him cooling his heels in another room. He falls asleep. A lot of it I've just sped up. And he's like really still. He's laying on the table and he's zipping up and he's, that's his whole affect. But at 4:04 p.m., you can hear a sound where Jennifer's sounds like she's shaking her leg or something, hard enough to bang against, a chair or something. We can't see it. Repeatedly, and the cop is asking her, do you need more water? And she says, I literally thought I was coming here for the press conference, But this is not what we're here for. You can take that many ways. Jennifer may have been caught off guard. Yeah, sure. But it also might be a sign of anger. I really wish the behavior panel would do this too, even though it's only audio. I literally thought I was coming here for the press conference. This is not what we're here for. She's almost saying like, whoa, you guys blindsided me with this. This isn't what I came here for. This is around the exact time that Jennifer sent that text message about an attorney to Chris Sterns. And later she's going to refuse to press charges against Stephan. Just wait till you hear all the stuff she says about that. So this is where we heard Chris Sterns talk about this exact moment. It's in a later interview where he's reflecting, but he has the exact timestamp of when Jennifer texted him. So I'll link to all those videos below if you want to catch up on his parents' interview we've already heard, or anything you might be missing in this case. I know some people are just now jumping on it because it's really like so viral. People magazine, all these places are talking about this horrible case. Chris Sterns is saying, look, this all happened Wednesday. The detectives gave us a personal escort. Everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. And he goes, 4:04 p.m. I get a text message, finally get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the heck is going on. She texts me saying, get Stephan a lawyer now. And he's like, okay, why? And she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. Now, what's fascinating about that, which I'm just realizing, thank you, Lord, she knows on Stephan's phone, they found, she doesn't even say, they found Stephan abusing Maddie, images of that. She says there's sex acts of sex between Maddie and Stephan. She already knows it's between Maddie and Stephan, but she's going to play dumb. You'll hear when the cops come back. And all of a sudden, she's just like, no. At first, she recognizes all the stuff around it. Like, even if she didn't recognize the member, for example, she's like, oh, I recognize the stuff around it. For example, if you know your own blanket, or you know your own curtains, or you know everything you have, you can recognize it based on what's around you. She initially says stuff like that, but no, later she's going to say, oh, no, I can tell you right now, no, that's not Maddie, or, you'll hear it. It's crazy.
When this thing came down Wednesday afternoon, we meet with the detectives and then personal escort and what have you, and then everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. 4:04, I get a text message. Finally, I get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the F is going on. And she texted me and said, get Stephan a lawyer now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? And then she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. I go, I like disbelief. I go, okay. And I asked her how long. She said 2 years. And she said something to the effect, like he needs a lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that was just really weird.
Was there any... The video footage that was caught at the church? What exactly was seen? I've heard from other people, but I just...
Do you know much?
It looked like someone age that walked by, but it's inconclusive. Right, it was too grainy. The video was not. You couldn't determine who it was in the video, pretty much. So we don't know that she walked by that church. So the last person, Stephan.
Yeah. So we want to know because he's the last person to see her. He claims to have dropped her off at this church before school. Unfortunately,
or close to the church.
Or close to the church. Unfortunately, we know she doesn't go to school that day. You try and go pick her up. What did after Stephan dropped her off? Did he come back home? About how long was he gone for during drop-off?
I want to say from 8:30 to like 10:15 because around 10:15 or 10:20 is when I got a phone call stating that he got home. He had gone to the vape shop, but I don't know if they weren't open or not yet. So he left.
Okay.
And then hung out around the house. Waited till I got back for my doctor's appointment.
So he came back home.
Yeah, he did come back home.
Okay.
He grabbed his phone and called me from the house at that point. He had let me know that he accidentally left his phone. He was waiting for the vape store to open, but they never opened, or something like that. And then he went back home just to give it time, and then he went back out later.
Okay. So from 8:30 to 10:15, that's when he's saying the vape shop was closed and he came back home?
I think so. Something. I mean, I know he was killing time. He does this. He'll just like to aimlessly drive around to kill time. I believe him when he says that he was killing time. Or at least I did believe him.
What's like usually, how long does it take to go do her drop off and come back?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay. So
45, 50 minutes.
So give or take an hour.
Yeah.
So he should have been back home by like 9:30ish.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's like 45 minutes to 30 minutes of a gap in time there.
Yeah.
Where could he have gone?
He says he was driving around aimlessly, just killing time.
Okay. So then he comes home, let's just say around 10:15 is what you're saying. What time did you get home from your doctor's appointment?
I'm going to say somewhere between 11 and 11:20.
And then did he leave again?
Yes.
How do you know he was home? Because you got the call?
Because I got the call and I think I saw him when I got home.
Okay. And then what time did he leave again to go to the vape shop?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what time he left.
And then...
Oh, actually, hold on. Let me think.
Do you guys have a Ring at your house? A Ring doorbell? Do you have any video doorbell system? Do you have any cameras in the house?
No. I'm going to say... I'm going to say he left around... somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Because I remember looking at the time going, I don't think he's going to be done in time running his errands to be back by 2:30 when I need to leave to go.
Okay.
And he said he ran his errands. He stopped at a few comic shops or game stores or something like that. Then he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. He doesn't remember exactly where. I remember him telling me he hurt himself changing the spare tire.
How did he hurt himself?
Something slipped while he was doing something with the... What's the crank that pops up? That brings
the lift or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
The jack.
Something slipped and his finger got caught between the frame and the jack, I think. So
Okay.
he had to pull out his finger. So I know he's had a Band-Aid on his finger right now because of that.
So what time do you leave the house to go?
2:30.
2:30?
Yeah, she gets out at 4. It takes me about 20 minutes to get to school, and then I wait about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
just
for the
her
car
there.
line and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to be the first in line.
So at what point did you think, something's up?
Around 4:10 when she did not come out of school, and I was the first in line. I was holding up the line. I'm the first in line. There's cars behind me, and they already have their kids.
Right.
So when I noticed she had not come out, I drove away thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up from school today because I have a new work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So
What do you do for work again? I'm sorry.
I work at Walt Disney World, front desk concierge at Coronado Springs.
Okay.
I just recently, that's the biggest reason I even called Stephan, was to come help me this week with her getting her to school, helping with the dog. That's the whole reason I even called him, was to come help me.
But when she's texting Chris Sterns at 4:04 p.m., she already knows it. She's saying there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. So no matter how she tries to play dumb with the cops in the next few minutes coming up. She already knows who's in those photos. So Chris said he was in disbelief, and he goes, okay, I asked her how long, and she said 2 years, and then she said something to the effect, he needs to lawyer up, and I thought that was just really weird. So those are the thoughts of Chris Sterns about that text. Now, at 4:04 p.m., again, this exact time that Chris says he got this text from Jennifer, notice she immediately changes the topic away from the shocking sex abuse she allegedly just learned about and asked the cops about the video footage from the church instead. She's so gung-ho and just focused on this church footage. I halfway believe Deborah Sterns, Stephan's mom, when she alluded to the fact that maybe Jennifer dressed up, in a hoodie like Maddie that day and was hanging out by the church just to be seen and knowing it'd be too far away. And they're so similar, probably in height, maybe kind of in build, where far enough away, you could kind of mistake Maddie for Jennifer. I kind of believe Jennifer might have done something like that. But Jennifer's so focused on this peace church footage. Now, again, of course, any mother of a missing child would be if whomever incorrectly said, oh, your child was caught on this camera footage, and she sat there and then she wandered away. Stephan and Jennifer are hanging onto it like the gospel in a way that they're just like, oh, that's got to be it. Why would Jennifer not ask 100 more questions about the stuff found on Stephan's phone instead of just changing the topic? Oh yeah, you found that, and yeah, that might be his junk, but okay, you're telling me he was abusing my daughter? What, for 2-3 years? Okay, well, tell me about the church footage. I mean, who would do that? Of course you're concerned about where she is, if Jennifer didn't already know, but it's just a weird change of subject. So 4:06 p.m., Jennifer is exhaling loudly after correcting the cops, telling them Stephan dropped Maddie off close to the church. She has to get that close to school, close to the church, always in. And they're asking her, did Stephan come back home? So she's continuing the conversation. She's acting pretty normal. And she's repeating that story, the same one we've heard 1,000 times about Stephan visiting the vape shop. But you can still hear her shaking. Now, is she shaking because she just found out what happened to Maddie, what's been happening to Maddie for at least 2 or 3 years? I mean, that would freak any mother out or father out. Or is she shaking because she's like, oh, those cops know, they have evidence. So 4:07 p.m., Jennifer's talking about Stephan killing time twice. One of the times she's saying maybe he would drive around aimlessly to kill time.
And what car did he come up in from down there in?
In his dad's Cadillac.
Stephan, I'm stepping out for a second, but my friend Julie is here, okay? So if you need anything, Julie will help you, okay?
Thank you.
So you kind of get some concerns when she's not coming out.
She's not coming out, so I drove off along the same path she would have walked. I didn't see her. Is she here yet? She goes, no. And I said, oh, maybe I missed her. Maybe.
Does she sometimes walk home from school?
Yeah, she does.
To. And then you pick her up from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't make it. So I drove back to... I think at this point I had called her best friend to ask because I went to pick her up from school and I didn't see her.
Right.
And she said, no, she never made it to first or second period.
Okay.
And I was like, can you please check with the other friends to see if she made it to her other periods?
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point I emailed her teacher.
Right. Snapchat?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. She just has an Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. So, office, you realize she's not there either. Is this when you go home?
No, I go back to the school I drive the path again to see if I missed her. And then I go back to the school to check their attendance because her friends are telling me she never made it. But when I got to the school was already closed. Mm-hmm. So I drove back. I think at this point I had gotten a response from one of her teachers telling me she never made it to my period, and then he checked the attendance for the rest of the day and she never made it to any of her periods.
Gotcha, okay.
This is when I start to panic and freak out because I know something is wrong. just thought about that image.
It's okay. Take your time. What was Stephan's reaction when you?
I called him and I said, she never made it to school. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she got dropped off. Like, you dropped her off? She never made it to school.
Mm-hmm.
I said, please come to the office right now. He goes, okay, I'm heading there right now. So he hauled ass came to the office.
And you're driving your car, and he was driving his car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he made it to the office, and then we where she might be.
Mm-hmm.
We were both sitting there pretty upset, pretty distraught, just thinking of the worst case scenarios. Eventually, we found out that there were missing, also 2 other missing children in the area, and that all the cops had gone to a park. So one of my family members went to the park to speak to an officer, to try to get an officer to come back to the office, and he did. And then he took a report.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 7:30, I think.
Monday night.
Yeah.
And what's Stephan's kind of demeanor been since then?
He's been absolutely a mess.
Do you think he would ever?
I don't think he would, no.
Okay. I understand.
Like, I believe you when you talk to me about those images.
Mm-hmm.
Those images might be real, or they've happened, but I don't believe they're related to this case. I don't think.
It's been going on. It's been going on. Like, and I wish I could say, you know, it's not true. It's not. I mean, we have images. We have them. I looked at them. This goes all the way back to 2022. Some of those pictures. I understand it's a lot to take in right now. I can only imagine what you're going through. But we need to know literally everything. I mean, at the end of the day, like I've told you many, many times, the sheriff's office main goal here, we want to find and bring her back home. That's what we want. But we need your help. We can only do so much. You're with her on a daily basis. You understand everything. But at the end of the day, we just need to know. Did he make any mention of going anywhere, taking her somewhere when he came into town? I know you said they like to play games together.
No, he wasn't taking her or going anywhere right now.
Okay. And prior to coming up Sunday, when's the last time he's been here?
I'm gonna say it's been over a month.
Okay. Has she ever made any comments to you about sex or anything like that? Being abused or anything like that? Hold on one second.
Sorry, just 1 second.
One second. So there might have been a little bit of miscommunication here, but a Kissimmee police officer detective is going to come to speak to you about everything that we just talked about, okay?
Okay.
So they're going to come talk to you with an Orange County detective. So I don't want to go too much further into it with you because they're going to go a little bit deeper. They know a lot more than I do, okay? So they'll be able to explain a little bit more to you. Is that fair? In the meantime, do you need to use the bathroom or anything?
I don't know.
It's okay. Take your time. Do you need any more water? Okay.
Are they coming here to interview?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're not gonna have to go anywhere.
I don't want to see those images, but I do. I feel like I need proof evidence, but like I'm afraid of being traumatized forever, so I'm not sure what to do.
That's okay. And the Kissimmee detective, we'll go over everything with you, okay? Can I get you anything? Okay. How long have you been working at Coronado Springs for?
Less than 2 weeks.
Oh, so you just started there?
Yeah.
Are you just like in training, or how does it work?
Yeah, I'm in training right now.
Okay. What'd you do before that?
I was a substitute teacher for a little bit, but for the most part, for the last few years, I've just been living off disability.
Okay. I'll be right back.
At 4:09 p.m., Jen says, I believe when you talk to me about those images might be real or they happened, but I don't believe they're related to this case. Now, why would she think that? I know any good cop or detective, they let the evidence take them to the culprit. And granted, it's true in some cases, not this case, of course, but in different cases, evidence of abuse on a phone does not necessarily equate the person to being a murderer. However, why would Jennifer so quickly be willing to separate? She just talks about, oh, that stuff on the side. Yeah, I know that sex stuff happens. She tries to poo-poo it and push it aside so much. And she wants so much to believe Stephan did not hurt Maddie, or at least she wants to convince the cops. It's like she's already thinking, okay, he can go down for the CSAM charges. Maybe they won't be as much as if a murder charge, a capital murder charge. Either charge is very high. So I don't know if in her brain she was trying to get the cops to say, yes, Stephan had that stuff on his phone, whatever, but he didn't kill her. That feels like where she's going with this. At around 4:13 p.m., it's time for the Kissimmee detective to come in and join the interview. They note, it should be noted, Detective Khalees did not conduct the entire interview. After answering a few questions, Khalees stopped the interview and waited for detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department. So they knew what they had here. Initially, they thought it was an Orange County case. You know, Maddie disappeared near school. She's a missing child. But once they found all that stuff on Stephan's phone, and they believe Maddie's life ended in that Kissimmee townhome, well then Kissimmee PD took the lead. It was time for a change. So around 4:15, Jennifer says, I don't want to see those images, but I do. I feel like I need proof evidence, but I'm afraid of being traumatized forever, so I'm not sure what to do. So she's kind of mimicking the cops. In some ways, she reminds me of Chris Watts in the way he mimicked the things the cops said, because the cop had told her, like, are you sure you want to see the images? You know, I don't know, that could be very traumatizing. So I think that's why Jennifer said, I'm afraid of being traumatized forever. But again, to me, it leads to her selfishness. I mean, no parent wants to see photos of their child being abused. But if you're a proof, evidence type of person like she claims she is, you would think she wants to see the photos just to know for sure, this is this dude, this is what he was doing to my daughter. Yeah, press charges. You know, you'd want to see him for that reason. But she's focused on herself. I'm afraid of being traumatized. Well, what about Maddie being traumatized? She just didn't have to look at those photos. She was forced to participate in them by a man who should have known so much better and treated that little girl so much better.
You okay? It's your head?
No, just a lot of anxiety. Just thinking about how I didn't know, how I didn't see anything. Let's say all the sexual stuff did happen, or we know it happened. What if he's telling the truth about dropping her off and driving away and driving around in circles and getting to the vape shop? Is there video evidence of him in front of the vape store? Because I know there's banks around, right in that same plaza. There must, and an Amscot. There must be video of him pulling into that plaza and waiting.
what's your question?
If you guys have found evidence of him being in front of the store like he said he was, like it's possible that his story might be true and somebody else could have taken her. Like I'm just thinking, like, what if we're focusing, like, okay, the sex things happened, right? But what if that's completely a side thing and not having to do with this, like her missing?
Yeah.
What if
I got
somebody
you.
else?
So just like Detective Khalees explained, that's why the Kissimmee detective and the Orange County detective are going to come and talk to you about it. Obviously, it's two different things that we're talking about, but they may be tied together. They may not. We're not sure. But that's why we want to talk to you and get as much information as possible. That's what the detectives are going to come and talk to you and, try to help us out. Get as much information.
Am I allowed to talk to my sister right now?
Right now, just hang on for right now, until after they're done.
I think I'm at the press conference, but I'm not. Can you tell me? Oh, you weren't there. I just want to know what was said at the press conference. What did I miss?
They'll let you know. What are you worried about that you missed?
Nothing, just if there's a new piece of information that I haven't heard or something. But I know you guys are keeping me in the loop or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep hoping. Just hoping she's still out there and she's still alive. I don't think Stephan would have done anything to her. But
Hey, good afternoon. I was calling because I have an appointment today at 5:30. I'm staying at work a little later. I was wondering if I could cancel it. Okay, thank you. It's under Lewis at 5:30. All right, thank you.
At around 4:21 p.m., the detective enters and he's asking if she's okay. And he says something like, your head? I don't know if she's like, oh, or whatever. And Jennifer says, no, just a lot of anxiety. Just thinking about how I didn't know, how I didn't see anything. So I feel like she's, again, just putting up a front. Maybe she didn't know. I always have to leave a little bit of room if I were sitting on a jury. I'd have to leave a little bit of room. Okay, prove to me she didn't really know. But it feels like she's setting up her own defense. A lot of anxiety just thinking about how I didn't know, how I didn't see anything. It's not plausible. It's not probable. Sure, it's possible. Anything is possible. Jennifer might not have known. It's not probable. The way Stephan talked to that woman he dated briefly, and she thought his words were so inappropriate she broke it off with him. The stuff Deborah Sterns says Maddie brought up to her, like a cry for help, I'm sure. Like, oh, guess what, Grandma? Well, I don't know if she called her Grandma, but guess what? I turned over and my leg was over Stephan's one day. Isn't that funny? Ha, ha, ha. And Deb said, no, that's not appropriate. All these different people, even the roommate who texted Jennifer and was like, wait, Maddie's going in the room alone with Stephan. Is that okay? And Jennifer's like, thank you, you're good, or something. It's good, you're good, whatever. All these people who noticed tips of the iceberg, something isn't right here. Well, Jennifer, I'm sure, knew a lot more, being Maddie's mother, being Stephan's girlfriend. So how could she not see anything? Here we are, about 4:23 p.m. Jennifer says, let's say all the sexual stuff did happen, or we know it happened. What if he's telling the truth about dropping her off and driving away and driving around in circles? So Jennifer is rambling on about the vape shop again. And the detective, I love, he's like, what do you mean? What's your question? I just love that he gets down to brass tacks. She's saying the sex things happened, right? But what if that's a side thing? She keeps trying to like minimize it, putting it to the side instead of following the logical trail of like the cops did. Now, cops, of course, they're not going to make assumptions. They looked for further evidence to connect him to the murder, obviously, but they didn't immediately say, that sex stuff is just on the side. It's probably some other kidnapper out there. And that's the way Jennifer keeps trying to lead them. Like, why is her brain doing that? I don't think her brain is. I think she's just so into Stephan or knows so much more or has such guilty knowledge that she keeps trying to lead them down this path of, okay, maybe Stephan did that other stuff, but I think, what if he still dropped her off at school? So Jennifer said, I just keep hoping she's still out there and she's still alive. I don't think Stephan would have done anything to her, but... And then I speed up. There's a lot of breaks and pauses, so I sped it up to make this video as short as possible while showing you almost everything that happened that day.
I just got a text from Stephan's dad asking where he could, because I guess he was at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just waiting.
Okay.
He's asking where he could wait.
He can wait either in the front it's the west lobby. So it's the one where the big flagpoles are in. It's the main entrance. Or he can wait in the car.
In the west lobby, the main entrance with all the flags?
Yeah, with the big flagpoles. It's the one that says Orange County Sheriff's Office right at the front. It's on the easiest way to find it, it's on the Colonial Drive side.
Is Colonial Drive this road right here?
It's not the one that you guys came through, it's the other one. The one that goes east to west.
Around 4:30 p.m., Jennifer sheepishly tells the detective, I just got a text from Stephan's dad. Now, she doesn't mention that she just texted him 30 minutes earlier, blowing him up like, get your son a lawyer now, all that stuff. She's just talking about, he doesn't know where to park and the press conference and where to wait and all that. So at 4:38 p.m. or so, Kissimmee PD is showing up. At 5:04 p.m., they get right back onto that topic of the pictures of the not so pleasant things that Jennifer was shown earlier.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hello, my name is Mark. I work with the Kissimmee Police Department. Okay, great.
Thank you. That's your work phone?
No.
Is that what?
But that's the...
Okay, thank you.
So the reason I am here, or we are here, is because we think when it went missing, you live in our city limits. Okay. So that's the reason we got involved now. Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
All right, so I understand you probably answered a lot of questions and you've got a lot of stuff going on. I am apologizing now. I may ask you the same things that you've already been asked. That's just because I like to hear it for myself. Okay, and I know you've been speaking with her quite a bit, but we want to do what we can as soon as possible. Okay, so that's our main focus right now. All right. So, but before I get started, your first name is Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
And your last name is?
Soto.
So, what's your telephone number? And you live... What apartment number is that?
Building.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, and once again I apologize. So on Monday, you've gone to school. Is that right? Okay. So tell me how that morning went. Actually, let's go the night prior.
Okay.
So
night prior, she had a birthday party. I couldn't be there because I was at work.
mm-hmm. Where do you work at?
Disney World. I'm front desk at Coronado Springs.
Okay.
She went she had a birthday party. She had a good time. She spent the entire time with my family. Later that evening around 8:30, my sister dropped her off at my house. And she started getting ready for bed, or doing her nighttime routine, which is take her meds and get in the shower. About 10 minutes after she arrived, Stephan arrived, and he let me know that she was doing what she was supposed to be doing. He arrived, he made sure she was doing what she needed to be doing. I got home around 10:30 and saw that she was almost ready for bed. I ate, we talked for a little bit, asked how the birthday party was to show me her gifts, how everything went, and then she went to bed.
And this is around, you said around 10:30 she went to bed?
Around 11.
11, okay.
At this point, I sent them. We have 2 bedrooms. We're a 4-bedroom townhouse, but there's a bedroom and a guest bedroom.
Okay.
I sent them upstairs to the guest bedroom because I had not slept well the night before. I had forgotten my psychiatric meds and I was feeling off. I was not feeling okay. So when I got home from work, I said, guys, I need a good night's sleep. They all wanted to sleep in my bed, all 3 of us together.
Okay. Is that normal?
Yeah, for us to do that, yeah.
Okay.
When he sleeps with me, if he's around, he'll sleep upstairs sometimes in the guest bedroom or with us in our bed. But the 3 of us on my bed is pretty uncomfortable. It's a king. Sleeps like a monkey. She just kicks and punches.
Mine are too, I know.
Yeah. Chill up on one side and wake up on the other. It's just, yeah. So I asked them to sleep upstairs that night to give me a good night's sleep, and they said okay, they would. And from what as far as I'm aware, they went upstairs. They went to sleep. I was woken up around, I want to say 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday by Stephan trying to put the leash on the dog to walk him, and I got up to try to help him with it, but Stephan got it and walked him and told me to go back to bed, so I went back to bed.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who because I do have roommates and they're up at all hours. So I heard somebody in the kitchen as soon as I leave for school. On her nightstand, I know she walked into the kitchen, into her bedroom to get ready and all that because she left her phone on her dresser in her bedroom. And I know she did that while she was getting ready that morning.
Now, what is considered her bedroom? Where?
In the living room.
Okay.
We've got like a little wall partition, and she's got a bedroom in the living room. It's got a bed, a dresser, a desk, and a TV. She doesn't sleep there though. She just hangs out there during the day. That's her space. She'll hang out there. But yeah, she got ready, supposedly, and they were off. They left to school early. I'm not sure what time they left.
What time does her school start, do you know?
She's got to be at school at the latest by 9:28.
Do you know what time her school starts?
9:28.
Okay. Okay.
From what I was told, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:30 and 8:45, or somewhere along that line, around that time.
And Stephan told you this?
Actually, that timeline might be from what the cameras, the church cameras you guys have told me about, but we don't know if that was really her, so I'm not sure about the timeline anymore. He said he went, I think he had given me a timeline of, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:20 and 8:45, but he's not sure exactly what time.
Okay.
He said they were making good time that morning. He was like super impressed with how quickly she got up, got ready, and was out the door. I know she wanted to meet up with her friends at school early, And I know
Did she tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know she wanted McDonald's early that morning for breakfast.
Mhm.
But Stephan said she was asleep in the car for the majority of the car ride, and he kept trying to talk to her and talk her into getting McDonald's.
Mhm.
But she kept saying, no, just drop me off.
Okay.
So this is where she got dropped off somewhere on the road, close to school, and then I don't know what happened to her. But this is what I was being told happened that morning.
Gotcha. And then you went to pick her up after school. Is that right?
Yeah. I left the house at 2:30. School is not let out till 4 o'clock, but it takes me about 20 minutes to drive, 25 minutes.
Mhm.
And then I wait that hour outside. I like being the first car in line. I like being the first.
Through the line, if you know.
Exactly. So I like. I waited that hour and something minutes for 4 o'clock to show. 4:04 is when the bell rings. Waited there until like 4:10 and she didn't come out. That only sounds like a few minutes, but in those few minutes, the cars behind me got full of children. I'm the first in line, so there's cars behind me already picking up their children. They're waiting to get out. So I felt pressured and rushed. So I decided to drive away. I'm like, she's not here, something's wrong. Or maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up. Maybe she just decided to walk. She'll do this sometimes. This is pretty close to the school. So I decided to drive along the path that she would have walked. And I asked, has she made it? And they said, no. And I said, okay, let me drive the path again and see if I see her along the way. Drive along the path, I park on the road where she would be walking, and I waited there for about 15 minutes and nothing. She didn't appear. At this point, I returned back to the office. She should have been at the office by this point. It's like 4:35. She did not appear. So at this point, I call her best friend, and I asked her best friend, with you? I don't think I told her I was coming to pick her up, but she's not walking or she's not at school. And she said, no, she never made it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean she got dropped off? And she's like, she never made it to first or second period. I said, can you please check with your other friends to see if she made it to her other periods? At this point, I start panicking and I drive back to the school to check her attendance, but the school office had already closed. So
What time was this?
This is around 4:45.
Okay. And the school was closed already? Okay.
I think they closed at like 4:30. I went to the school, I rang the bell, they were closed, nobody was opening the door. So we decided to leave. But I had already emailed one of her teachers. I think when I had spoke to her best friend, I had emailed the teacher. The teacher confirmed that she never made it to his period and never made it to any of her other periods that day. He checked her attendance for the whole day. When he told me this, I realized something was really wrong. It's truly wrong. And a panic attack.
And what time was this?
I'm gonna say around 4:45, 4:50.
Okay.
And yeah, I called Stephan. I asked Stephan, I'm like, did you drop her off? He said, yeah, why? I'm like, she never made it to school. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, I don't know, just she's not here, she's not here. And he drove immediately to the office and then waited with me. I was having a panic attack, trying to stay calm, but it was really hard. I think we waited about 3 hours for the police to show up. I think 2 children had gone missing around the same time in a park nearby, so all the cops were answering that call. Eventually a family member went over to the park and spoke to an officer and let him know, hey, there's another missing child, please come take the report. So they followed him and brought him to the office, and then he took down our statements and made the report, and then the process started. They were there for, I'm gonna say 1 to 2 hours, and then it was time to go home.
Okay. So ever since then, since the officer took the report, or the deputy took the report, Have you been looking for? Have you been driving around?
I've been staying at home just in case she comes home. My family, I have a huge family. They've been driving around. They've been walking the walking path behind the school. They've been handing out. They've handed out like 1,000 flyers already.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who contacted the news.
Has she gone missing before?
Never.
She's never ran away, even if it's for a couple hours or anything like that? Okay. So when you physically or talked to her, it was the night before?
Yes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how was she then? What was her demeanor?
Happy. She had the best birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
She loved her presents, her gifts. She got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So she was showing me all that. Yeah.
Okay. So, how was her sleeping habits? I know you said she was up and at 'em in the morning. Is she? Because some kids like to sleep all day. Some kids get up and then they're ready to go. What's she like?
So when she sleeps with me, and I have to wake her up,
Mm-hmm.
she's difficult. She'll snooze 3-4 times. We'll hit the alarm a few times, let it ring, and then go back to sleep, and then let it ring, and then go back to sleep. When it's her waking up herself and she sets her own alarms on her phone, which is what I think she did that morning, she usually gets up pretty quickly. She doesn't snooze. She'll get up, she'll immediately go do what she needs to do, and then she'll either lay back down in bed and snooze until it's time to go,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, just be ready to go.
Do you take her to school?
Yeah,
Okay. When you take her to school, where do you drop her off at?
at the school.
Okay, so you pull in through the line and drop her off at the front and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When she goes to school, when you take her to school, is she talkative in the car, or what does she do on the way there?
Not really. She'll be on her phone. We'll listen to the radio station, or listen to some Taylor Swift. Yeah, she's pretty quiet. She'll be snoozing, sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to Stephan, was Stephan at the birthday party?
No.
No. Okay.
He was traveling from Northport, Florida to Kissimmee,
Where's Northport?
Sarasota County.
Oh, okay. And he got here when?
So if she got dropped off around 8:30, he probably showed up around 8:45.
Did you know he was coming?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys hung out? What did you guys do that night? Okay.
Yeah. What did we do that night? I only spent about 30 minutes with them because I had to go to sleep. I had to take my meds and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they need to go to sleep because they have to go to school, or she had to go to school. I usually like making bedtime around 10:30. So when I got there and she was still up, I understood why she was still up. She was waiting for me and wanted to show me all her presents and stuff. But by 11, I was just like, you guys need to go to bed. It's late. Like, it's super late.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Is it normal if he comes to see you that he or
Yes, it's normal for him to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom.
okay? What makes it different from when he sleeps with or the three of you or upstairs by himself?
It all depends on the circumstance of what's going on. For the most part, if it's a school week and school, I send them upstairs because I know that my alarms are going to go off multiple times super early in the morning and I don't want to wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to wake up, so I have to constantly be talking to her, shaking her. So for the most part, it's downstairs and he goes upstairs.
Mm-hmm. What made it different that night? For
The fact that I forgot my bipolar meds Saturday night,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not acting normal Sunday, and I realized Sunday night, oh my god, I forgot my meds Saturday night, which is why I've been so freaking weird today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I need to take these meds and I need to sleep. I need like a good night's sleep. I can't wake up early in the morning. I can't take her. I can't do any of that. Like, I need you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's primarily the reason I told him to come from Northport, Florida to help me was this week because of training at work. I needed help, I needed support. So I invited him up to help me with that.
Did you work on Monday?
No, I was off.
You were off, okay. So Monday during the day, what would you do throughout the day?
I had a blood work appointment at 10:15, 10:30. That took a little while to be seen.
Did Stephan go with you?
No. He was not home he had not gotten home by the time I left.
Do you remember what time you left?
Around, I think, 9:30.
And where was your blood work at?
About 15 minutes away.
Which way? Towards Kissimmee or Orlando?
Towards Orlando. It's on the border of Kissimmee, Orlando. It's in the Loop. It's across the street from the Loop. There's a doctor plaza there. There's a LabCorp there. So I went to LabCorp when I got blood work done.
Okay.
Waited there for a while. Then I must have gotten home sometime between, I would say 11:15, 11:30, something like that, or from 11 to 11:30 sometime. And he was there. But before that, while I was at my blood work appointment, he actually called me. He said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I left my phone at home. I was running some errands. This morning, we made super great time. She got ready super fast. We left super early. I offered her McDonald's multiple times, but she refused. So she asked to be dropped off early. And so he did."
Did she ever go to school? Did she ever ask to go? Because sometimes kids don't want to go to school, period. Is it normal for her to ask to be dropped off early?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
She's asked me multiple times to ask her to drop her off early. She wants to meet up with her friends, or she wants to get there earlier and earlier just to meet up with her or with her friends.
But you still drop her off at the school?
Yes.
Okay. So she hangs out with her friends within the school?
Yes.
Okay.
The only reason I think he did not take her to school directly that morning is because she has voiced multiple times, "Hey, is Stephan taking me to school? Can you please drop me off far away?" She's embarrassed by his car. It's a Cadillac, it's not that old, but to her it's an old hoopty. She can't be seen in it. She doesn't want to be seen in it. So she's made that comment before, "Please drop me off far away, I want to walk." But yeah. When you look at the car, to me it looks like a normal car. It looks old, but...
Gotcha. Okay, so what...
So
Would he come here? Would you go there?
he would come here. He's only been gone for the last 2 months. So he's come here those few times.
Okay.
Bye. What exactly is the mention? I know he had told me he was like, frustrated, I guess. I'm gonna use the word frustrated.
Okay.
But I know he's had sexual relations with people. But I'm not bothered by that. That's whatever he needs to do. But yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously there's a little bit of, actually I don't want to get to that yet. Who drives your car?
Primarily me.
Okay.
On Monday night, he drove my car.
Monday night when?
After we went to bed, after the cops had been called and all that, he took my car and decided to drive around. to see if he could keep searching for her, looking for her, seeing if there was anything that.
What time was that? Do you remember?
I don't know. I know he took my car and left because when I got into the front seat of the car had been adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, remember I said I was going to go out? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You did tell me that you were going to go out. I just don't remember. He never told me what time or anything. But he did mention earlier Monday, I'm going to drive around. I can't just sit at home. I need to be looking for her. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
You remember if that was in the evening or like sometime before midnight, after midnight?
Oh, before midnight.
Okay.
I go to bed. Well, that's Monday night. Not sure what time I went to bed Monday night. I want to say before midnight because I have to take my meds and I have to go to sleep. They only work if I take them the right way, my meds.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to follow a strict routine with them. I'm going to say it was before midnight.
Okay, and then when you got into your car, when you didn't notice that the car was, or the seat was back?
Yesterday, whenever we got kicked out of the house, whenever they told us we couldn't go back in,
Mm-hmm.
forensics was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got into the car and I was like, oh, the seat's adjusted. I'm like, did you get in it? He's like, yeah, I took a drive last night, remember? I'm like, oh yeah, you did. You told me that.
So Monday night, did you ever come here to the sheriff's office Monday night?
No.
No? Okay. Did Stephan come here
I don't think so.
that you know of? Okay. Do you know? Were they talked to here or?
No, they were talked at place of business originally where they did the report.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have been in contact with her at her apartment. But that was after the initial report was made.
That was last night.
Yes. Yesterday, the other detective, Frank,
Mm-hmm.
responded around 10 o'clock in the morning and started looking at the school. I'm not sure when the initial contact was made with her. I want to say it was like around 11 or 12, right? At your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in contact with her since then.
Okay. All right. Now, I understand that a detective recently showed you some pictures of not so pleasant things. Okay. What was discussed at that point?
They asked me if I recognized the penis.
Mm-hmm.
In one image I didn't. In the other image, not that I recognized the penis exactly, but I recognized the things around the penis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like what? Clothing or?
clothing and like a pillowcase
Okay.
that was like underneath the penis in the picture. So I recognized that.
Did he explain to you where those images came from?
He said Stephan's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Did he explain to you the content of those pictures?
I'm not sure. Just explain that they were in his phone, that there's evidence that they've been sexually active or doing things.
What's Stephan's relationship with? What's their relationship like?
I was gonna say really good, super great. He's always been super sweet and kind to her, very accepting, warming, understanding of her because she's got ADHD, so she's kind of a little, I'll say abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense like she doesn't act like every other kid, but you have to have extra patience and understanding for her. And he does that really well.
And she's now, right? From what I understand.
She just turned.
Just. When she's around Stephan, does she act any different?
No, she's happy. She's like, hey, how are you? But she doesn't act any differently or weird around him.
There's no really easy way to ask this, but do you think it's possible that Stephan and her are having a sexual relationship?
Before those images, I would have said absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're telling me that on the other side of that penis that they showed me was her with her mouth, then there's nothing else I can believe. That has to be true. But before that evidence, I would have said no.
Has Stephan always been, like, when you guys communicate and talk, or have you ever caught him in any kind of lies or not being truthful or anything like that?
No.
So he's been honest about everything, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to question. If I've had questions, I've had answers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never. I never suspected anything.
How long have you lived in Kissimmee?
I've lived in that house on and off since 11 months old.
Okay, so. Where else did you live other than that?
For a little while, I moved into my mother's house during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Where did she live?
In Hunters Creek.
Okay.
And then during COVID, it was another situation where he got promised the job down there and it didn't happen. We moved down there, got an apartment, and lived there for somewhere between 6 to 8 months. And then
Moved down where?
I'm sorry, to Port Charlotte, Florida,
Okay.
which is next to Sarasota County.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Charlotte County.
Mm-hmm.
We moved down to Port Charlotte during the whole COVID, where everyone was quarantining time.
Mm-hmm.
We moved during that time and stayed in Port Charlotte.
What about Stephan? How long has Stephan lived in Kissimmee?
I'll say on and off for 7 years or 6 years. The first he was still staying at his parents.
Where does his parents live?
At the time, they lived in Winter Garden, Florida, but now they live in North Fork, Florida. That's who he lives with down there.
Oh, okay. What about family? Any other family around here?
Who? Him?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think he's got distant relatives, but nobody he's ever talked to like that.
What about friends, or you guys have friends? Are all your friends in Kissimmee?
All of his friends are in Northport, Florida. He made a big group of gaming friends down there. He's got some coworkers he talks to here, but no one I've seen him hang out with lately.
Okay. What about you? Are your friends in Kissimmee, or?
Sorry. Do you mind sitting up for a second?
Yep. Give me 1 second, okay?
1 second, Jennifer. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
And Jennifer's like, he said Stephan's phone, is that correct? As if she's forgotten this horrible news they just told her. So they're asking her now about the content. Jennifer says, I'm not sure. Really low. Although the detective earlier was very blunt, about the type of abuse that Maddie suffered. I mean, he broke it down. Every orifice, he broke it down. But Jennifer's like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. And she's getting real quiet about the fact she was told the images came from Stephan's phone. They were in his phone. There's evidence that they've been sexually active or doing things, and it's redacted. She whispers. That gets on my nerves. She's blaming this 13-year-old girl. She's done it before, too, in a different interview from March 1st. Like, I didn't think Maddie was lying to me or hiding anything from me. Everything's Maddie's fault, or even the way she phrases this. There's evidence they've been sexually active. She's acting like she caught Stephan bussing down she's acting like she's caught Stephan cheating with some 30-year-old woman who's grown, instead of him literally harming her own daughter since a young girl. Now she's calling Maddie abnormal. They're like, tell me about Maddie, and you say she has ADHD or whatever. Jennifer's like, I'll say she's abnormal. She doesn't act like a regular kid. You have to have extra patience for her. And Stephan does that really well. Now, she's saying that after she's seen these photos. I know any person would be in shock if they had no idea what was going on. They'd be in shock. What's going on here? Whoa, I didn't know that. But would you still be saying, yeah, he takes care of her really well? But she said, before you showed me the images of her and her mouth, she's like, to me, taking so many shots at Maddie, so many subliminals, which just shows a lack of care. I wouldn't have believed it, that they were in a sexual relationship, as the cop put it. The cop is mimicking what she's saying because the cop isn't necessarily repeating, okay, he abused your daughter. They know, okay, let's get on her level, let's get her to talking, and then her point of view will come out more. But she claims she's never caught Stephan in a lie. Jennifer is just windmilling for him so hard, and I'm just like, why? What does he have on you that you are doing this and you're not turning against him and you don't even want to press charges against him? What the heck is happening? She's saying, yeah, if there's something he needs to explain, I've gotten the explanation. So around 5:10 p.m., the detective is called out of the room by Detective Tagler. You can hear Tagler. I know her voice. I can see her at the end with Stephan. She has this really long hair, and all these three women are really like messing with his junk, trying to get the best photos so they have the best evidence. But Tagler is apologizing to Jen for the interruption. Yeah, no worries, Jen says.
Sorry.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm so sorry. I have a horrible potty mouth.
So also we were talking about Stephan's relationship with her, and when, like, if you aren't in the same room,
How do we communicate?
like texts.
No, we speak to each other.
Okay, so you call each other on the phone.
If she's in the same room?
No, if you guys aren't in the same room.
Oh.
Like if she's out with her friends or you're at work or.
Call or text, but she's really bad about responding. She'll put her phone on silent or do not disturb.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she'll respond, sometimes she won't.
Okay. How do you and Stephan normally communicate?
Via Google Meet, which is the video, not FaceTime, but the video chat for Android.
Okay.
We'll video chat pretty much all day.
Okay. Does Stephan ever talk on the phone?
Yeah.
How do they do that? How do they normally communicate?
Video chat as well.
Okay.
But when she's on video chat, she's video chatting next to me, and we're all part of the conversation. They never go off on by themselves and have their own conversation. It's always all of us together.
Okay. Do they talk quite a bit? Do you know?
I'll say yes because we're all in the conversation together, and we stay on the phone for hours together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But that's all of us together.
Got it. Normal times of the day. I know kids sometimes are up late at night talking on the phone or anything like that. If Stephan's in Northport at home or with his parents and you guys are here and you guys are all talking, is it when normal people talk or in the early in the morning or?
After school and before bedtime.
Okay. Do you know if has conversations with Stephan outside of your presence? Like, do they talk on the phone?
It's possible, but if I'm at home, I would know.
Gotcha.
Because she's always in my bedroom. She's hanging out in my bedroom or in her space, but I can hear her in her bedroom or I can hear her from my bedroom, so I would know.
Okay. Now, this is kind of going to get into a sensitive subject, which I apologize. But there were images on his phone of them two being involved in a relationship. Now, has she ever disclosed to you or anything like that if anything like that has happened between them? No? Okay. Has he ever mentioned to you, like, is he into any kind of, like, does he watch porn or any that you know of?
I'm sure he does, but
Does he watch it around you or? Okay. I know some. Thing, or does he do that to your phone or anything like that? Okay.
we pretty much respect each other's privacy.
What about his phone? Do you ever go through her phone at all?
Sometimes, but not as much as I should probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Because you trust her.
Yeah, I've gone through her phone before though.
Okay. Anything abnormal that you would see in her phone?
That I thought, no.
Not that you thought, or
No, I'm saying
you've
like
never-
if I've never seen anything,
Gotcha.
no. But I'm saying if
Okay.
you guys saw something, then I missed it.
No. I'm not saying that we have.
Okay.
No. Stephan's phone is a different story.
Just going back to the comment you made about how you know that he was sexually active with someone else.
And I found out about it later. But there was a girl he had been hanging out with, a coworker. This is about over a year ago. He started hanging out with a coworker, and I had suspicions that they were sleeping together. But I would ask, and he wouldn't confirm or say anything like that. But he didn't confirm until a few months later that yeah, they in fact did sleep together. And I was just like, well, okay, good to know. I was just checking to see if I had slept with him after that. And like, do you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to have sex with him after he's had sex with somebody else. So when he told me that, I was just checking with myself to see if that had happened, and it hadn't. So.
And this got brought up on a conversation of you asking him if he was sexually active with someone. Something on his phone, or was he texting off to the side?
No, it was a
or?
conversation that we had, and he just told me.
Was it a cordial conversation, or were you guys angry, or?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, when was the last time you guys were sexually active?
December of not December 2023, but December 2022.
Okay.
At that point, I had decided that I wasn't interested in sex. I wasn't. My meds just really affected me, and I was just like, you know what? I think it took a while to figure out that it was my meds. I was trying to figure out if it was like my hormones, if my body, like what was going on, but it was just my meds. We narrowed it down to that. So when I realized that what was happening, I just had to accept it, because it's either come off my meds or fix my sex drive. Well, come off my meds, fix my sex drive, or stay on my meds. I'm gonna stay on my meds. Like, I need to stay stable. So, yeah.
Where have you guys been staying? I know you said they kicked you out of your apartment or whatever, but while they were at your apartment, where were you guys staying?
At a hotel right off the Disney property, Home Suites by Marriott or something like that, on Western Way, off of 429.
Okay. Did so you and Stephan have been together pretty much the whole time after? Have you guys always been together, or has there been times that you stay at the hotel or you work in, then him be out by himself?
When I woke up this morning, he wasn't there, and he was gone for about an hour. But he came back and he said he had gotten some Wawa, and then he got lost because he didn't have his GPS or phone on him or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him a while to get back to the hotel, but he found us eventually. I wondered that. I was just like, he left the hotel and didn't have a phone on him, didn't tell me where he went. I'm like, how is he going to find his way back? I don't think he even paid attention to how I got here, because I'm the one who drove. I'm the one who knew where the hotel was. I was like, I don't know if he's going to figure it out, but he did. But he was gone for about, I'm going to say, an hour.
Okay. I don't think everything else right now.
So it's 5:13 p.m. or so. A detective is once again broaching the subject of these images on Stephan's phone in Jennifer's interview. Jennifer says the last time she was sexually active with Stephan was December 2022. So that's like over a year. You know, I read she told her roommate or something they hadn't slept together in like 6 months, but it's been a long time. Another ironic and disgusting thing to me is Jennifer didn't want to sleep with Stephan after he had, told her about sleeping with that coworker. Jennifer's acting like, oh yeah, I don't want him sleeping with me after sleeping with her. And she says something, I feel like, about checking herself out or making sure she's okay or whatever. And I'm like, oh my goodness, but fine, is it fine, like you say, for him to, eventually, I guess she said it's not fine, but that was her first wording. Was it fine that Stephan went and slept with Maddie after he slept with this coworker? Like, she's so worried about her own health and her own sexual health and, avoiding STIs or whatever. But it's fine for you to send him upstairs with Maddie and do whatever to her? About 5:19 p.m. or so, Jennifer presses to see the photos of Maddie. She said, I feel like, can I see that image of redacted? Because I feel like I'm not going to believe it unless I have confirmation, and I'm always going to have doubts. And I don't want to leave here today and never have like an opportunity.
I feel like can I see that image of, because I feel like unless, I'm not going to believe it until I have confirmation, and I'm always going to have doubts unless I actually see it myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to leave here today and never have the opportunity again. Like, I want to.
No, I don't mind showing you, but they are difficult things to see. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the one image.
I'm not sure which picture they showed you earlier. I don't think we might have the same pictures. We do have different pictures, but I don't know if I have the same one that the other detective showed you.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Do you still want to look?
Yes. Am I gonna clearly see her face?
Yes.
And prior to this, have you known her to be sexually active with any boyfriends or friends?
That one right there is a no.
You saw through the picture?
I could, but you can turn it around if you want.
Do you recognize anybody else that may be in that photo? I know basically it's only genitalia, but is there anything else in that photo that stands out to you?
No.
Anything in the background?
Is this a picture of a picture? Is this a picture of a phone? Like, is this background
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see. Nothing I recognize in the background, no. There's not much space. Okay.
Now I realize what she's doing here. Again, she's setting up to say no because she's going to end up denying anyone's presence in that photo, recognizing anything. I see what the cops were talking about. Earlier, she was like, yeah, she was confirming Stephan's hand, I guess, and his junk earlier. Not so much the junk, she said, the stuff around it. So she had given confirmation. Once she realized and thought about what they had, now she wants to see additional photos just so she can negate everything, so she can no longer be a witness and no longer confirm that she recognizes anything in the photo. She's a trip. Jennifer says, am I going to clearly see her face? And they say yes. It really gets me, the lack of times Jennifer uses Maddie's name. Am I going to see her face? Like just her, you know. And as soon as you can tell a detective is just like pulling out, they probably didn't want to have to redact this video because of all the sensitive info in there. But you can see like a detective must be pulling out a paper printout of a photo. And Jennifer's already like, that one right there is a no. And I had to listen to that over and over because I was like, wait, what is she saying? And then she's complaining, like, is this a picture of a picture? Like, is this a picture of a phone? And they're like, yeah. She goes, nothing I recognize in the background. No, there's not much space. So she's denying everything. They said she was still emotional, so I wonder if she was like shaking, but immediately she's turning everything to a no. I don't recognize any of that stuff.
28. If you don't mind asking, who keeps calling?
Everyone. The news.
Family and everything.
My family, they're all trying to figure out if I was the news. Because last they heard I was going to the news conference and that I was going to watch that, but that's not what happened. So they all want an update and see where I'm at and what I'm doing and what's the latest.
Yeah,
but
understandable.
Yeah, you can let them know that the reason it's taken so long is now this is now like a semi-police investigation.
yeah.
Since that's where you guys live.
Yeah.
Okay. I know this may not make sense to you, but amongst us it does. Sometimes when people call the police and then want to file a report, there's jurisdictional lines that we got to follow. Okay.
Yeah.
So being that she was dropped off at school, that would make it Orange counties. Okay. But now we can't definitively say she was dropped off at school. We believe she was. We got to go on. We definitely know 100% that she was at home at your house on her way to school. So that's why we're involved. Okay, does that make sense to you now? Okay. I can't think of anything else right now for her. Anything else that we may miss that?
I know that you said that Stephan was out, right, looking for her that night. Do you remember what time he came back? Like when you woke up, was Stephan home?
Yes.
What time did you wake up?
Can I look at my phone and tell you?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Because it was phone calls that went from me. Let me see if I can find it. We're talking about Tuesday morning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were looking for the time, was there any specific reason on why he wanted to use your car instead of his?
Because he had just gotten a flat tire, so he's got a donut on one of the back wheels. And I told him not to drive the car because you can't drive very much on a donut, right? Like
Okay.
not fast and not far. So
Did he explain any, like, how the flat tire happened on the car, or
He was just
where
driving
he
down.
was when it?
And he was just driving down 192, and then he felt like a wobble or something weird, and then he pulled over and saw that the tire had like just shredded, just fell apart. So he pulled over into a plaza and changed the tire.
Do you know where about?
He says somewhere on 182, but he doesn't know exactly where because everything looks the same to him.
Interesting.
Yeah. He doesn't know what business he may have stopped at or where. But I will tell you, Stephan also has ADHD. He's also very forgetful. It's like they're both the same. They both have ADHD. They're both very forgetful. They both have time blindness, which means they lose track of time. They if they don't have a watch on them at all times, they've lost track of time. They don't know how long they've been taking an hour or more long shower, not realizing she's been in the shower for very long. They're both the same in that respect. He's also on medication, which is making him super forgetful. It's an anxiety.
Is this new for him, or has he always had this?
Stephan? He's always had ADHD. I want to say that's probably the ADHD part that just it's hard to manage and control, right? It's just how you are, and it's just a lot of those little things that just it was just too much for me. And I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so right now,
But he doesn't remember where he got this flat tire.
And he changed it himself, he said?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said he hurt himself while doing it. I think his thumb got caught in between the thing that cranks the car up and like the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Something twisted and fell on his finger, and he said he yanked out his finger really fast and hurt himself.
All right, so he used your car because of the flat tire. Okay. And then, did you find the time?
Oh, sorry. I woke up around 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
And he was home?
Yes,
Was he awake, sleeping, or what was he doing?
asleep.
Okay. And then do you know if at any point during any of this, like if he's showered, he's changed?
No,
Not that you have physically seen?
no, I haven't seen him shower or change.
Okay.
Do you recognize that phone number?
No. Oh, sorry, we're almost done.
No worries.
I think he showered. I'm not sure if he showered. I don't think he showered Sunday night. I think it must have been Monday morning sometime.
Monday morning?
Yeah, because there is a towel in my bathroom that's not ours, not that's hanging there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I recall him telling me he was going to take a shower, but I just don't remember when exactly.
Okay. Does anybody else use this bathroom?
Just Stephan.
You said you had 2 roommates.
Yeah.
What are their names?
Angelica. Do you want the last name as well?
Please.
Okay. Last name Negro, Nigro.
Do you happen to know her phone number?
Yeah. She only speaks Spanish though, so if somebody in Spanish
Okay.
is gonna have to call her.
Sure, we can find somebody who speaks Spanish.
I speak Espanol.
And who is the other one?
Madeline Rosero.
Okay. How long have you guys been roommates with each other?
With Angelica, almost 3 years. With Natalie, almost 2.
So I'm not sure if you guys went to the house at all.
You were there, but not inside.
Okay, so these bedrooms are numbered. So do you know which room is Angelica's?
Angelica's room is number 3.
Number 3.
And Natalie's room is number 2.
Okay. Like if you actually physically are there, each door has a number.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do you guys rent to a separate landlord? Like, does someone own that specific unit? Okay. And then he rents out rooms, it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet them? Who are they in relation to you?
Natalie Rosero, I've known her since my sister was in middle school. They're middle school best friends. So we've known her, I'd say more than half her life now, 20 plus years. Angelica, I met her on Facebook Marketplace almost 3 years ago when she rented.
Looking for a place to
Yeah,
live
looking
in.
for a place, yeah.
How old is Angelica?
'31, 32.
Okay, so they're both a little older.
Yeah, and Natalie's.
Whoa, 31 is not
Oh,
old, okay?
36. Sorry.
Natalie is 33, I think.
Okay.
Since you mentioned Facebook Marketplace, social media?
She's got a Instagram.
Okay. Do you happen to know her Instagram name?
Yeah.
Or if you can pull up her page, that'd be great. Do you mind if I take a picture of it?
Yeah, go ahead.
What about Stephan? Does he have social media?
think, I'm not sure I don't think he's got, does he? Yes, so he's got Facebook, he's got an Instagram, and he's got a Reddit. Possibly Discord as well, different chat.
Do you have his Instagram? Can you show me? What about his Facebook?
What's happened to Steph? Actually, can you guys update me on what's happening with Stephan at this point?
So we're like he said, we're going to get all the same information that Orange County got from you. So that right now we're kind of starting at the bottom and working our way up.
We're gonna go talk to him now.
Yep.
Oh, after me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So just so we know a little bit more about it, I know you mentioned something about gaming, or is that like one of his things to do? Gaming? What is he into?
He's into.
Like, what does he do on a daily basis? Obviously, he lives in North Florida.
Okay.
What's he into?
So, one thing. Another thing Stephan's got, mental health wise, is insomnia. He doesn't sleep well. And he's got also sleep apnea. So when he sleeps, he stops breathing and doesn't get good rest. His brain is always telling him to wake up and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always constantly being woken up. He doesn't get good sleep. Because of this, he spends the majority of his day sleeping. Just trying to get some rest, but it's a stupid cycle with sleep apnea. He'll spend the majority of his day sleeping. When he does wake up, he'll play a game called World of Warcraft, which is a video game. Or he'll meet up with his friends and play tabletop gamings, like battle, like they battle each other with little toys.
Cards or
not toys, they're little miniature figures.
Okay.
It's called Warhammer 40K. It's just a tabletop tournament game. Like you're a weird race, of creature, and we're going to war with each other.
Okay.
So they're just trying to kill each other.
Battle each other or
yeah.
something. Okay.
That's pretty much what he's into. Also, he collects Tamagotchis and Digimons. I don't know if you guys remember Tamagotchis from back in the day. Little creatures we used to take care of.
Alive.
Yeah. He has a bunch of those. I want to say that's right now. Those are his current hobbies.
And since you've known him for his triggers, like are there certain things that he gets upset about easily if you do or say, or I mean,
I know I can be a nag sometimes, and if I keep nagging, he'll get a little irritated, but I can't say I know what to do. I don't think he's got triggers.
have you ever experienced him outlash, like to the extreme on anybody? You, any of his family, or does he ever hit you or just
no.
at all?
Oh no, never. I'll say he does have like a little bit of a temper, but it's not anything I've ever been afraid of or been like, oh my god, he's gonna hit me, or oh my god, he's never like that.
Have you guys had any disagreements recently?
No.
Okay. All right. I think we're gonna go talk to Stephan a little bit to see if he can maybe give a little bit more insight of what happened that day after you dropped her off.
Is he being placed under arrest because of those pictures?
Yeah, we haven't made that determination yet, but
Press charges since she's a juvenile.
No fucking idea. I didn't think it was in my power. I thought you guys just automatically did it.
What do you think should happen to him for these pictures?
It's crazy. Like, I saw the pictures, but I'm still in denial because, like, there's a penis there.
Mm-hmm.
But is he visual? Does he show up in any of the pictures? Is there? I mean, I don't know who's.
I haven't seen all of the pictures, so I can't answer that truthfully.
Because I can't.
Whether it's his penis or not, are you comfortable with him having content of someone else's penis on his phone?
That makes sense. Absolutely not. No. No.
Or you never talked about her being sexually active with anybody?
I've never even. Me assuming she had never been sexually active, I hadn't brought it up.
Has she ever had boyfriends in the past, or?
No, she's not allowed to date.
Okay. How does that make her feel? I know some teenagers want to have a boyfriend. And...
Yeah, I think she was okay with it. She never complained and said, "You want to date this person, whatever." For a little while, she's like, "Someone, can they be my girlfriend or can they be my boyfriend?" And I'm just, I don't remember if it was a boy or girl. And I said, "I think you're a little too young for that. Let's just wait till you're older. Wait till you're older." And she was like, okay with that. Yeah, I know she recently had a crush on a boy, but
has she ever had boys at the house?
No.
Have you ever had anybody at your house, any male friends at your house?
Not in years.
What about your roommates?
My roommate has a son who's 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
But he's darker skin complexion, but I don't think that would be his penis.
Do your roommates have boyfriends?
Not that I know of. I don't think they do.
Would there be any reason with if they have boyfriends with any other male?
With any other male?
No.
No.
So what do you think should happen to Stephan?
I'm afraid to say press charges, but what else? There's a side of me that wants to say he's innocent, that this isn't happen, but who else's penis could that be? She's not left alone with anyone else.
And why would they be on his phone?
Yeah, why would they be on his phone exactly? I don't know what to do.
Okay, we can revisit that. Because after we're done talking to him, I'll probably come back and talk to you for a little bit, just to give you an update and stuff like that, okay?
Can I make one decision now and change my mind later? If I decide not to press charges now, could I change my mind and press charges later?
It's a lot to digest. Okay, so I don't want to make you answer that right now, you know. But when we come back, we'll talk more about it. Okay, when I come back.
Let's take some time to process everything.
Because you're going through a lot right now. But right now, I mean, in my eyes, it sounds bad, but almost secondary, because we want to then worry about this afterwards. She's our main focus.
That's where I'm at. I know that the sexual acts happened, but I'm not convinced that he didn't take her to school. I'm not convinced that he's the reason she's gone. Because if this had been going on for so long, what's the motive? Why Monday? Why that day? Why the day after her birthday when we were supposed to spend the entire week together and have such a great time? Like, we had plans. Like, we knew we were just going to be together that week and we were going to have a good time. So I just can't think, like, why?
When you say what's the motive, what are you assuming?
That she was taken. Not that anyone that I know has done something to her, because I feel like nobody I know would do something to her, would hurt her, would murder her, anything like that. I feel like, shoot. I just wonder if we're, like, I know the sexual acts happen, but I wonder if that's just completely separate to her actually going missing and just don't know. I don't know what to think.
You don't think Stephan has anything to do with her going missing?
I don't feel like he would. Why?
No, I'm just asking.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, what would be the reason? Where would he take her? There's nowhere I can think that he could take her, that I hadn't heard of or known about, or would be familiar with. Because if not, I would tell you. Shoot. Okay, she could be here. She could be here. She could be here. There's nowhere I can think of.
Around 5:33 p.m., Jen gets worried about her man, and she's like, so what's happening with Stephan at this point? I mean, who cares? She should be asking, yeah, what's going to happen to that MF, like his mother called him? That MF, remember that in that audio? No matter what Deb and Chris might say, I think their best interviews are the ones we get on the body cam or the surreptitious audio, because that's when they're being more truthful. We might go over that again later, different ones I haven't covered. But anyway, Jennifer's not asking like, oh, what's going to happen to him? She's asking like, what's going to happen to Stephan at this point? Like, why is she so attached to him? At 5:37 p.m., the detective tells Jen he's going to go talk to Stephan. And Jennifer's asking, is he being placed under arrest because of those pictures? And Jen is then asked about pressing charges against Stephan since Maddie's a juvenile. And she says, I have no effing idea. I didn't think it was in my power. I thought you guys just automatically did it. She's doing everything to avoid the question. She's doing everything to avoid pressing charges against Stephan. Jen is claiming she's not sure if it's Stephan's junk in the photos, but they're like, look, whoever's junk it is, are you comfortable with Stephan having photos, basically with Maddie, with someone else's junk there, you know? She goes, that makes sense. No, Jen says. So then they ask her directly, so what do you think should happen to Stephan? She says, I'm afraid to say press charges, but what else? So Jen is then asking, this part has tripped a lot of people out. If I decide not to press charges now, could I change my mind and press charges later? And they're like, look, you're going to have to think about this, you know, whatever. They had enough evidence anyway, but I think they were just trying to see where her mind was. And I get it. I truly understand the fear of certain victims. I totally understand some victims don't press charges in certain instances of domestic abuse because they are afraid. I totally understand that part. They're afraid he's only going to go to jail for a night or 3 days and he'll be right back breaking into the person's house and trying to harm them. This is a totally different situation. I don't think Jennifer's afraid of Stephan. It's like she's protecting him. I just can't figure out why. So they're asking her, you don't think Stephan has anything to do with her going missing? And she goes, I don't feel like he would. Why? So it's around 5:49 p.m. Jennifer's interview is ending.
Who does he know that lives in St. Cloud? You know where St. Cloud is.
I do know where St. Cloud is. Does he know anyone in St. Cloud?
Him or you?
I know people in St. Cloud.
Where? Where do they live?
I haven't seen him in a long while though. But one person lives close to Harmony.
Okay.
So driving all the way down St. Cloud, passing St. Cloud a little bit. One person lives in St. Cloud, like off of Old Canoe Creek Road.
Okay.
Anyone he knows, I can't think of anyone that he would know.
Has Stephan ever went with you to visit any of your friends in St. Cloud?
No.
So you're not sure, does he know anybody in St. Cloud?
I'm not sure if he knows anyone in St. Cloud. I know the girl he dated or was sleeping with. I guess that's technically Kissimmee off of Michigan. That's technically Kissimmee. So no, it's not St. Cloud.
Let me ask you this. Now, going to get a little bit more in depth. Why would his car be in St. Cloud Monday?
I know he was going to a bunch of gaming stores, video game stores. Maybe not video game stores, but like board game store, like where he can buy little miniatures and stuff. He also plays a card game. Also, I think he was looking for cards that day. A card game called Lorcana. I know he headed up, and I think he told me the shops were off of 192 somewhere. I'm not sure how far they were. I don't know if they were in St. Cloud, but I know he headed in that direction Monday while I was at the doctor's appointment. Or no, just kidding. After.
Okay. When's the last time you've been in your car in St. Cloud?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now.
While you look for that, did anybody else drive your car while you guys were looking? Other than Stephan?
No. The last time I was in St. Cloud was February 7th. I had a doctor's appointment over there.
Okay. Who would have been driving your car between Monday and now? Other than you?
Stephan.
Okay. 3 o'clock in the morning?
If he says he was out driving around, trying to think of places to look for her. Maybe.
You didn't go with him to look?
No.
Why?
I had to stay home and take my meds and go to sleep.
Okay. All right. So just to be clear, your roommates or nobody else has access to your car other than him? Nobody has a key to your car other than him or you?
The only key they would have access to would be the spare that I keep on a hook by my bedroom door, and anyone can grab that. Would I think my roommates would go into my room and take it? No. But I think the only person that would have would be Stephan.
Okay. All right, anything else? You guys?
I'll stop for now.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jennifer, thank you so much. Once again, I apologize that you have to give the story again, but like I said, now I have to play catch up.
Am I allowed to contact anyone right now or no?
Who do you want to contact?
My sister, my mom keeps calling me, but I'm not really sure what to say at this point.
I mean, you can tell. I can't tell you what to say or what not to say. I will say that we are now taking over the investigation.
So, PD, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And I'll give you my card.
Is there a case number or anything I need to?
Not yet, I don't think so. We have theirs.
Yeah.
But I don't have ours yet.
Okay.
But just because this is an open investigation, I would highly suggest not to share any information outside of this room. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. And I'll be back in a little bit.
Wait for the police because the cell phone's there. I don't know who else to put on there for me.
Okay.
1758.
You guys need anything?
And the detective is announcing when he's shutting off his audio thing, it's 17:58 or 5:58 p.m. when he shuts it off. So Jennifer had a 2-hour, 9-minute interview, not nearly as long as Stephan's nearly 6-hour interview. His was 5 hours, 46 minutes. He was there for a very long time. So even though Jennifer's interview ended at 5:58 p.m., they left little sleepy, yawning Stephan stewing in the other room for a whole hour and 12 minutes or more until they entered to begin his interview/interrogation. So Detective Corporal Ilgen and Detective Morris conducted this video and audio recorded sworn interview of Stephan Sterns. So they knew everything. And at the end, I'm just going to play a lot of it. I won't interrupt much. Again, if you want to see all the raw, uncut stuff and floating box. I can't believe OCSO, God bless them. I know it's difficult to use that tracker to redact, and I've seen it before in other body cam videos that different police have given me. A person's junk is exposed because it's like the trackers don't necessarily track correctly, and you have to always go in a lot of times, whatever software you're using, and do a lot of work. So they're going to do at the end the DNA search warrant and everything. They're going to see the black mark on Stephan's penis, consistent with the penis picture in his cell phone. Photos of his scar on his right wrist and all this stuff. Eventually he's taken into custody. But at the start of his interview, well, he's stretching and yawning, he's waiting, he's scrolling his phone. You know, they've got him sitting in there like, look, we're going to talk to Jennifer first. He's the big fish. I guess they wanted to catch him, but talk to Jennifer first and then let him stew. It's a method. Sit there, just sit there and sit there. At 6:07 p.m., someone brought him water. Detective O'Malley came in at 6:21 and took Stephan's phone, the one that his dad had given him, and asked him if he needs to go pee, and Stephan refused to use the bathroom. Now, he drank. I thought, okay, is he avoiding DNA? Giving them DNA? But he was drinking the water and Coke and everything that they gave him, so his DNA was already on that. But I was like, why is he avoiding using the bathroom? Do they think, okay, they'll get pictures of him in the bathroom? And I don't know why he avoided going to the bathroom, because he was there at like, what, 6 hours or more. Anyway, at 7:11 p.m., the big dogs enter the room and they're loudly proclaiming, Stephan, how you doing, sir? They're all strapped, locked, and loaded, and Mark and Brandon come in the room and they're shaking Stephan's hand, saying they didn't mean to wake him up. You'll hear a lot of silent and redacted parts. They make sure to get it out the way, read him his Miranda warnings, his rights. Right off the bat, they're like, we're not screwing this up. We have seen these horrible images on this dude's phone, and they had him dead to rights. They really did. Stephan did say he's been in trouble before, but I never found any arrest record for him. So the notable things in his interview was Stephan saying about Maddie, she should have showered that night, Sunday night. That was a weird way to put it. And then he's talking about, oh, snuggle time, cuddle time, so Jen could get some sleep in peace. He claims Maddie needed that human presence around her, like he's been trying to wean her off it, but that's been difficult. The detectives, oh, God love them, being able to sit through this BS. When the detective is asking Stephan to walk him through the events of Monday morning, that's when Stephan is yawning dramatically, stalling for time, insulating himself. I believe the behavior panel calls it insulating themselves, like, oh, you know, I'm so sleepy, I can't even talk to you guys hardly. And then he has the nerve to say, I'm one of her favorite people in the world. Eventually, the cops start revealing, okay, we've got this evidence. We see you at the dumpster. Stephan's talking about the house trash she threw away. And they're like, look, she didn't go to school with her backpack. And he's like, how's that? Because we found it in the trash. Stern's eyebrows go up at that point. That was really interesting. He knows he's toast, basically. And they're asking what happened, you know, what was going on? And Stephan immediately says, what, like fight? And that reminded me of that recent interview of Chris and Deborah Sterns, where supposedly Stephan told them, oh, he needed to blow off some steam, which kind of indicates someone being heated, and he had to go for a walk to blow off some steam. For some reason, he had to blow off some steam, and he came back and Maddie was gone or passed out or something. That's what he told his parents. Now, you know, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him, but it's interesting that Sterns is like, what, like a fight? He immediately went to a fight. He's spilling some truths. Even though they're in bits and pieces and probably couched in a lot of lies, it sounds like some type of altercation happened. Probably Sunday night, late Sunday night, leading into Monday morning. Maybe Maddie refused him. Maybe Maddie said, get off me, get away from me. You know, there is a consistent theme where Jennifer did say Maddie allegedly wanted all of them to sleep in the same bed that night. And maybe she did, because maybe, I don't know, would that have protected her from Stephan's abuse? I don't know. But Jennifer was like, go on upstairs. Was Maddie angry about that? Hopefully we'll find out. Stephan ended up talking about Maddie having a crush on a boy. And they're like, how'd that make you feel? Great question. And Stephan goes, fine. He's like the shrug, fine. She knows she's not old enough to date. Like, how dare he, the nerve. I think Stephan knows they've probably found some photos, because he's like, I believe he's making up this story. Oh, Maddie did something with a camera when she was very young. And it sounds like he said she did get scolded for it. But I guess the reports claim, he's speaking so low and there's like a loud fan or something going on. It's hard to hear. But he acts like he heard this info third hand. It's almost like he's trying to say, okay, if you guys find any weird photos of Maddie as a young girl off in a Google Drive somewhere, it was just her playing with the phone. Again, blaming Maddie for everything. But they're asking him, look, what do you think we found on your phone? What's on your Google account? What about, are there pics of you and Maddie on there? And of course he goes, yeah, there's photos of Disney and selfies on the train. Maddie went to Puerto Rico and got her hair braided. I was grateful at least she got to go to Puerto Rico, They break it down. Look, we found CSAM on the phone, and that's when he's like, oh, should I be talking to a lawyer right now? And he was detained for capital sexual battery, and they call it child P. And they're like, look, okay, good luck to you. A woman comes in, takes his vape, and while, they stripped him and they do all this stuff, and Stephan's like, oh, he's asking the one cop, is my father coming here or something? What about an attorney? And they're like, look, we're done. The attorney's not coming here. You have to obtain one. Almost in his childish nature, this failure to launch, just little boy Peter Pan nature, like, are you guys going to send my attorney now? It's like he's asking her, where's my dad? And he's asking for water, and the woman's like, let me help you out. She's pouring the water down his throat slowly so he won't choke. And I'm like, what irony? That's what I've written before on the Patreon post to this video, the raw video. I was like, what irony? Because Maddie lost her life through strangulation, and the detective is being, the CSI agent is being so gentle, like, I don't want you to choke, Stephan. So he drinks water when he's alone by biting the cup and pouring it down his own throat. He's turning his paperwork around, with he's handcuffed, and he's complaining about the cuffs being so painful. And then he's turning his paperwork around and reading his charges. And he's like, oh God, this hurts, the cuffs. And they have to like double cuff him for a while. So it's 9:28 p.m. when Sterns leaves the room, straight out to his famous perp walk.
You need more than that?
Should be okay for now.
Alright, let me know.
My name's Detective O'Malley. I'm not one of the detectives talking to you. I don't really have involvement in her disappearance and everything else, her being gone. But I was told you have a phone on you?
Yeah.
Can I see the phone? Have you gone to the bathroom or anything since you've been here? I've been kind of doing other things in the office. Do you need to pee?
No, I'm okay for now.
Do you need more water? You want a snack?
I think I'm alright.
Man. I'll have somebody be right back in.
Okay.
Just hang tight. If you do need to pee or something, you need water, you need whatever it is, just knock on the door.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Stephan. How you doing, sir?
Sorry.
That's okay. Didn't mean to wake you up.
It's okay.
I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Mark. I work for the Kissimmee Police Department.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
This is Corporal Ilgen.
Brandon.
I understand you've been here for a little bit. So, just to give you a little bit of background, the reason we are here now is because Jennifer and yourself reside in the city of Kissimmee. So, initially they thought, dropped off at school and it would be an Orange County case. It seems like since she lives in Kissimmee, that's the reason we're going to do the case.
I
Okay.
see.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me just grab some things here real quick. All right. I know that you were brought up here by detectives, right? Detectives drove you? Okay. And that was earlier today.
I have no idea how long ago that was.
It was sometime today.
Sometime today. Correct.
So being that you're here, we're here, you were taken here by detectives, I just need to get this out of the way just so we can talk about how we're or where she may be, okay? All right. Have you ever been in trouble ever in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had your rights read to you at any point in your life?
I must have.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm going to do them again just to get it out of the way, and then we can talk about school and stuff like that, okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. Do you understand these rights? Okay, perfect. All right. So before we start talking, one last thing. Can you just raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth, to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's talk about your. We just talked to Jennifer a little bit, so. Where'd you meet her?
Work.
Where was that at?
We worked for a home building company. It's no longer in business, but we were both in the call center area.
Oh, okay. So like selling homes or?
Yeah.
You lived in Kissimmee with them? Because I know Jennifer said she's lived in Kissimmee for years.
Yeah. Off and on for years myself.
Okay. Any family that lives in Kissimmee?
No.
Okay. So on and off, how long do you think you lived in Kissimmee?
This stretch, 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Jennifer kind of mentioned that, then you moved back to wherever your parents live. And where is that at?
It's in Northport, it's down by Sarasota.
Okay, so on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So she had a birthday recently. She had a birthday party Sunday. Is that right?
Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
Celebrating her
Did you come to
birthday.
the party?
No, I was not. I was on my way up at that point.
Okay. So the party ends. Did you pick them up from the party?
Someone must have dropped her off.
Okay.
She was there when I got there. Jen asked me to make sure that in the shower and did her bedtime routines, which she did. She was already on top of it, so nothing to do there.
Okay. What time do you think you got back in Kissimmee?
What time I got into Kissimmee?
Yeah.
maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30ish, something like that.
And I apologize if you've answered these questions before. It's just like I said, we're coming into the game late, so I may ask you things that you've already answered probably 3 or 4 times.
I apologize as well. My memory is not super reliable on time frames. I've been medicated for the better part of a week.
Okay, that's fine. What do you take medicine for?
Anxiety mostly. I've been having some money troubles lately. Anxious over that. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully your money troubles get better.
I've been medicated on Ativan since probably Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So when you got to Kissimmee and you got to the apartment, what happened? Like,
made some dinner, made some ramen. I love how I make my ramen. Then we started watching Sister Act, but it was time for her to start getting ready. Basically, just as we were starting Sister Act.
okay.
And that was just about bedtime.
What time is bedtime?
Usually 10:30, 11ish, something
Okay.
like that. It's a spectrum, not a set time.
Mm-hmm. Then, so who's going through the bedtime routine? Because I know Jennifer says she has somewhat of a little routine too that she does. Is it her? Are you talking about?
Jennifer's routine is, taking her meds, eating some food so that she can have the proper calories for the meds. And then she's got about an hour to do whatever she needs to do because she needs to fall asleep at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Her bedtime routine is taking her bedtime meds, brushing her hair. She should have showered that night, and then she goes to bed as well. Usually with some bombs or something on in the background. Bombs, burgers.
Got it. What are the sleeping arrangements?
She sleeps in her.
Okay. Did she sleep in her bed Sunday night?
No. I was just back. I had been away for a couple months. In the same bed together, so we get some serious sleep. So she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had a big enough bed. So some snuggle, cuddle time that would suffice, and Jen would get to sleep in peace.
Okay. So you say snuggle time. What does that mean?
Like to be alone. She is extremely dependent. She does not like to be alone at all. She needs human presence around her. Simply.
Gotcha.
We've been trying to wean her off of that, but it's been difficult.
What?
I think he's on his way down too to help.
Gotcha. Okay.
Last I heard.
All right. So Jennifer says go up. So snuggle time with you to help her go to sleep. Is that right?
Just bedtime, yeah.
Bedtime. Okay. Did you stay in the room the entire night?
Not the entire night. I'm usually up and down sometimes. So I might go grab a drink or something, or yeah, I'm up and down sometimes.
Gotcha. But you stayed. You didn't at any point go. Okay. All right. So night goes on. Morning time comes around and it's school. Walk me through that a little bit.
Excuse me. Morning routine. She usually starts waking up. We set about 3 alarms. The first one goes off and we let her keep snoozing.
Do you remember what time her alarm goes off? Or what?
Not really. Maybe 7:30ish. I'm not sure. Alarm goes off. We let her snooze about 3 times while we start getting ourselves ready. And after the 3rd snooze, it's time for her to get up for real and start getting ready. Typically, she will have showered the night before, so she needs to brush her hair, brush her teeth, excuse me, get her book bag together, eat some breakfast if she's going to eat there, and then we eventually make our way out the door.
Okay. So walk me through, like, you leave, you take her to school in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of car do you have?
It's a Lincoln. It's actually my parents' car because my car is down south. It needs maintenance, and we're scared to drive it too much. So I'm driving a Lincoln right now. Got out early. The plan was to get some McDonald's on the way. So we got out nice and early.
Do you remember what time you left, roughly?
Not 100%.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My memory has not been super reliable.
No, that's fine.
But it was early. Maybe 7:30, 7:45, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not certain.
That's fine.
The plan
Was Jennifer awake when you guys left?
Semi-awake. I was giving her updates as we were going along. Getting ready, she's getting dressed. We're leaving now. Goodbye. But she was sleeping in, so I was just giving her little updates and poking my head in as we went. But we leave the house. We start making our way to the school. Most of the time, we make our way over towards her school area. I ask her if she's still in the mood for McDonald's. She says no. She doesn't want it anymore. Okay. Continued on. It was still pretty early though, I think. We still had some time to kill. It wasn't really time to drop her off yet. I had apparently forgotten my clicker key fob for the gate. So I ended up actually turning around at some point and going back to the community to get the clicker. I had to use my parking sticker to get in for the guy to scan. I had some errands to run afterwards, and then I wanted to have my phone. But we still had plenty of time as far as I knew. So we did that, grabbed the clicker, left again, and that's when we drove over to her school area, and I dropped her off where I dropped her off.
Okay. Do you remember where you dropped her off?
Yeah, it was the stretch of road. I forget there's a street name. It was the stretch of road that the school is on. Make a right onto it. It goes down a little ways. There's some communities over here, and then up further there's a church, and then there's the overpass and the school on the other side of the overpass right there. I dropped her off on that stretch where the communities are.
Was she by herself when you dropped her, or was her friends there?
Yeah, she was by herself. She said she was going to go find her friends and hang out, wait for them to show up.
Okay.
It was still early.
Where did you go after that? Like, did you see her walk towards the...
I saw her making her way towards the direction of the school, but she was like kind of shuffle steps. She was meandering her way there. She was rummaging through her backpack for something. I assumed she was looking for headphones maybe. But as it turns out, she did leave her phone at home that day, so she might have actually been looking for her phone.
Gotcha, okay. What was she wearing when she left, or when you dropped her off?
Green hoodie, black shorts, black or blue, black shorts, white Crocs.
White Crocs, okay. Alright, so she's walking towards the school. Do you continue straight when you leave, or do you turn around?
I turned around and went back the other way. I was watching her in my rearview mirror, and she was going the right direction, so it looked okay.
And where did you go after that?
The next stop I wanted to go to was the vape shop. It opened at 10, so I had a little while, so I just kind of meandered around and eventually made my way over there to wait for it to open. didn't open when it was supposed to, so I left and came home, and then went back about an hour later when I was sure it would have to be open at that point. Got what I needed there, and made my way back to home again. Relaxed and hung out with Jen for a while. Seemed like any other morning.
When you got back home after school, was Jennifer home at that time?
I think she was on her way home. I think that she had a blood appointment, and we were both kind of going to arrive very shortly within time of each other.
Okay. So when you got home, when both of you got home, walk me through the rest of the day.
Just hung out, chit-chatted. I mean, I don't know. It's not much to recollect.
But you stayed at home pretty much all day, or no?
Pretty much until maybe noonish or 1 o'clock. I had a few errands to run, but I wanted to be back in time for us to go. So I just ran up and down 192. Ended up getting a flat at some point, which made me late to get.
Where'd you get a flat at?
Somewhere along 192.
192 is a big road.
It is, and honestly, it all looks the same to me. So I've been asked, do you remember what plaza you were next to, what color? And I'm like, I'm ADD as it is, and I was in a medicated fog for the better part of a week. I'm lucky I remember what color I'm wearing right now.
Do you remember what errands you were running?
Yeah, I wanted to go check out some game shops.
Where were these game shops?
There's Coliseum of Comics, there's House Rule Games nearby. A lot of the Targets and Walmarts carry the game I was looking forward to. It just had a new release on Friday, so even though I don't have much in the way of money right now, I still wanted to look and see what the situation is.
It's always nice to window shop.
It is. And I'm a serial consumer. So I was just driving around up and down 192, sort of just aimlessly, honestly. Just killing time till it was time to go back.
Alright, so when you got home, did you and Jennifer leave from school?
So I got home, it was 10 minutes later than Jen had wanted to. By 10 minutes. I called her and said, hey, where are you? I'm so sorry, I got a flat. She already left. She had been gone for 10 minutes. It didn't make sense for her to come back and get me. She likes to be the first in line when the kids start coming out.
Okay, then wasn't at school. So what happened? Did Jennifer call you after that, or what?
I was already on the phone with her while she was waiting. We were just chit-chatting. We do that. We just keep each other company, even if we're not physically together. You know? And she's that's when we started asking questions. You know, did she go somewhere else? Did she know that you were going to come pick her up? Did she possibly or his office, which has kind of been what she's been doing for the past, working a new schedule. So we started making all the calls. And no one had seen her yet. And so that's when we started getting a lot more concerned and panicked. She drove around a little more, looking for her, looking along the walking paths, and didn't see anything. Went to her. Not there. Waited around. Not there. Went back to the school. Not there. At that point, the whole family started rallying up and going to meetings. And I think that it was around that.
Going back to school, how was she like on the car ride there?
Just calmed down, sleeping.
How often have you? How often have you?
Not often, honestly. This might have been my third or fourth morning school run. I'm not normally the one to do it.
And on the other occasions, has she had you drop her off in and around the same location, or how does that?
She has this image thing. I guess she only likes to be seen getting out of certain cars in front of the school. But mine's, I guess, kind of a hoopty, and she's embarrassing. Right?
A Lincoln?
Nice looking Sentra. So yeah, this is not the first time she's asked me to drop her off a little ways down so she could walk up and look cool.
So you say she was conked out on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
You said you took her to school, or you were on her way to school. You needed to turn around to get your clicker.
Correct.
Was she sleeping then too?
She was. Yeah.
Okay.
It had been an early morning, so I figured it'd be fine to let her sleep in the car ride.
Okay. When you got back to the apartment complex, did you go in the front gate, or because I know there's the front entrance and then the back entrance?
When I came back after forgetting my phone.
Yeah. So which way did you leave?
I would have had to go in the front.
Okay.
And the guy scanned it. And I got in, got my fob, and left. I don't remember if I left out the front or the back.
Did you stop anywhere else in? No.
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. Did you take any trash out from the apartment?
The night before, I think I did. Sure, I took the trash out at some point, but I don't remember if it was the night before or it was the morning of. Yeah, sometimes we get trash bags piling up by the door to see them.
Is there like a common trash place, or like is there their trash too?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where you took the trash out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't remember if that was Sunday night or Monday morning?
It could have been Sunday night. I don't recall. I'm sorry, I was in fog.
Well. So, where you don't know?
Supposedly they got video of her walking past the church or waiting at the church for a while and then leaving.
How's your relationship with her?
Great. I'm one of her favorite people in the world.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 37. About to be 38.
You seem like a genuinely nice person.
I try to be.
Jennifer talks very highly of you. So, the morning school, when you came back, get your clicker. What was your?
She wasn't saying anything. She was just asleep. She was just reclined in the chair, sleeping.
Okay, explain to me, like reclining backwards.
Just laying back in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Stephan, here I'm I'm too old to lie to people. Too old to beat around the bush, and we seem like we're having a generally good conversation right now. Okay. The only thing that I ask for from you is, and I will reciprocate, I want you to be honest with me as much as I'm being honest with you. Okay. There's cameras in all over the place, as you can imagine. Nowadays, cameras are everywhere. Okay. So we see you coming in at the guard shack. Okay. We see you go by the dumpster. Okay.
I may have taken some trash with me then.
What was in the trash?
House trash.
House trash?
Yeah. So it must have been that morning then. We'll toss trash bags on the back seat, and wherever we're going on our way out, we'll drop that on the way. I think I may have mentioned to her before her. I'll have to double check.
Okay. Was everything in trash bags?
I'm sorry?
Was everything in trash bags, or was there any items that were just tossed along with the bag?
I think it would have been in trash bags, or maybe some boxes too.
Okay.
Some birthday stuff, leftovers. I can't remember exactly what.
Okay. When you for school, did she have her backpack with her?
Yes.
She did. Did she have her school computer with her?
Yes. Presumably, yes.
Presumably. Okay.
She should have.
Once again, this goes back with the whole honesty thing. There was things in that trash bag that got thrown away that probably shouldn't have been thrown away. Okay. We'll get that in a minute. But right now, our main focus is on finding. That is our number one focus right now. Okay. Do you have any idea where she may be?
No.
None whatsoever?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you know? Okay. And sounds like something may have happened. Do you think anything?
I don't think so. I don't think what could have happened.
Okay. All right. Do you know anybody that lives in St. Cloud? Do you know where St. Cloud is?
St. Cloud, that's... north or south? Or?
East.
East.
East of Kissimmee.
Yeah. I haven't been out there too much. Yeah, I'm familiar with St. Cloud.
Okay. Whereabouts in St. Cloud? Like, do you know friends out there, or?
I don't have any friends really. I've driven out there a few times before. Mostly just when I'm meandering up and down 192.
Were you out there this week?
Yeah. Yeah, I was out there sometime this week. Sometimes I drive, just drive and meander around and explore and drive till I don't know where I am and drive till I know where I am again, and I don't know, just driving just, it's peaceful sometimes.
Alright.
If I got time to kill, I'll just drive around.
So you're saying when she had her backpack, presumably her school computer was in her backpack, and you described her wearing a green jacket, some kind of dark colored shorts, and white Crocs. Okay. Well, I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack.
How's that?
Because we found it in the trash. So, Stephan, here's what I'm asking you and pleading with you is to dig down and do some soul searching. Okay? You understand? Family's pleading with you. I'm pleading with you because this is that we need to find. And it's, as more time goes by, it's tough. I have kids, he's got kids, and this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where. And I really, really, really think you can help us. Okay. I mean, you want to get something off your chest. I don't know what it is, but I'm pleading with you.
I don't know. I don't.
What happened?
I dropped her off.
Where?
I dropped her off on the road to school. That was the last I saw her.
Sometime throughout the night on Sunday, did you guys have any interaction, conversations?
What, like fight?
No, I'm not saying fight. I'm just. Did you guys sit up and talk, or?
We talked while I was making ramen. She was excited about her choir performance coming up. She was singing a little bit. I told her it was pretty, or it might have been Sister Act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about a crush she had on the boy.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. She knows she's not old enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush. That's healthy.
Do you think had she had any boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was too young, needed to avoid that BS.
All right, being that she's too young, so she shouldn't be having sex with boys. You're saying
she's all the that stuff. None of it counts. None of it's real. I just told her she'd be better off waiting until high school.
Has she ever talked to you about boys?
A little bit sometimes.
Has she ever, because I asked Jennifer the same thing, has she ever disclosed to you about being sexually active with boys?
No.
Do you know if she's ever been sexually active with anybody in the past?
Not that I'm aware of. I heard there was some sort of incident when she was much younger where she did something with the phone or a camera, but got scolded for it. She was very young. She didn't know. She got scolded for it, though. But it's vague. It's just remembering what someone said offhand.
All right. What happened to your hand?
Flat tire. I haven't changed a flat tire in about 10 years, so I made a rookie mistake and had my thumb too close to where the jack and the frame meet, and it slipped, and the frame came down on my thumb and pinned it between the jack, which I feel like I got off surprisingly light with that.
Ouch.
I yanked it free. You're not supposed to do that. most of it. Some bruising under the nail.
What about the other scratches?
Courtesy of a janky tire iron and the road.
Did you bleed at all?
Yeah, this one had some blood and this one had some blood, but not much. It clotted fast.
Do you know what popped your tire at all?
I have no idea. Tire just started going floppy and then
Pretty worn out or
way
something?
floppier and then just completely freaking separated. Thank God we had a spare and a jack. Janky as it was.
So typically when changing a tire and stuff, you tend to get brake dust and dirty and all that.
Yeah,
Did you happen to...
positive that I breathed in some freaking brake dust or tire dust or something because I was coughing the rest of the afternoon.
What'd you end up doing to clean up or stop the bleeding and stuff?
Nothing, actually. Just
You
went
didn't get
home
too dirty?
and washed my hands and that was it.
Did your clothes get all messed up at all, or...?
Not bad, surprisingly.
What were you wearing, by chance?
This. So I think I'm still wearing this. I'm still wearing the same clothes.
Oh, so you kept pretty clean.
Try to, I guess.
You weren't wearing a red shirt?
I was wearing a red shirt early in the morning. But I changed clothes later because that shirt was had been a couple days old at that point. And the flat tire happened after that.
Did a flat tire happen before or
After.
after?
It was sometime afternoon between noon and like 2:30. I don't know how long it took me to fix it.
And you changed your shirt before or after going back to get the gate clicker?
I don't recall. Maybe after. I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm medicated. I've been medicated all week. My memory is just not as reliable as I would like it to be right now. I was in a fog and half asleep that morning as it was.
On her own when you took her to school?
Yes.
What are you thinking about?
Sorry, I'm spacing out here. Long day, no sleep.
Who else has access to your car? Are you the only one that drives it?
Well, my parents have access.
But here in Kissimmee?
Here in Kissimmee, I'm pretty much the only one with access to it.
So safe to say you'd be the only male driving that Lincoln?
Presumably, yes.
Alright, I want to get back a little bit to you saying she's not allowed to have boyfriends or anything like that.
She can have crushes she likes, though.
Alright, have you and her ever exchanged, do you guys exchange text messages? How do you guys communicate?
FaceTime. She'll FaceTime me at night when I'm not around before bedtime to say goodnight. And I'll talk. Sometimes we don't even talk about anything. We'll just sit there doing our own thing and just with each other's faces on the phone. Just spending time,
What happened? So the deputies made a comment. So what happened to your phone?
I have no idea what happened to my phone. I was pushing off doing this update for a while and I ended up trying to do it. I don't know what the hell, my head being in the state it was, I wasn't paying attention. I ended up somehow doing some sort of option that updated the OS, but it ended up wiping my phone at the same time. Even just now, the phone that my dad gave me and set up for me, I literally just pulled it out of my pocket and the sucker was reinitializing again. So I don't know if it's just me and technology right now, or I'm just not paying attention, or...
Did that happen once to your phone, or how many times do you think you updated your phone?
I think I tried to update it twice, and I don't know what happened.
Okay, and from what I understand, that you gave the deputies consent to look through your phone. You did, okay. And you voluntarily gave it to them so they could bring it here to do the extraction and stuff like that. Okay. What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages. Emails. Phone stuff.
Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pictures were on there?
Training card pictures, lightsaber pictures, Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
Do you save pictures to your Google account?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and...
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
And then sometimes when you reset your phone and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have any...
Oh, I assume so.
Do you have any pictures of you and...
Probably. I mean, we went to Disney, took selfies on the train. She got back from Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures. Family events. I'm not as much of a shutter button. Take them every once in a while.
Any other pictures that you can think of? Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's your phone. And I'm pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person. And I don't want you to discredit yourself by saying you don't know about all the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So do you want to add to the list of pictures?
I don't know. Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
I can't answer that question. My sole purpose right now is to see if I can find, and I'm really hoping you can help me.
Okay. Well, I'd like to try to help, but I feel like I should probably have a lawyer present at this point.
So you want an attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That can happen. I want to let you know you're not free to leave.
Okay.
You're being detained. Okay. Do you want to know what you're being detained for?
Yeah.
Capital sexual battery and possession of child pornography.
Okay.
So we're going to step out. If you need anything, please tap on this door. Okay? And there's going to be detectives outside that will be able to assist you.
Okay.
Well, good luck to you, Mr. Is it Sterns?
Yeah.
Stern.
I get that vape? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stephan, so what's going to happen now is we have a warrant to collect a couple of items from you, okay? So basically, this young lady here, we're going to swab your cheek, you know, we're going to take some of your clothes, stuff like that, okay? So she is going to take some pictures of you as well, like your hands, and we're going to ask you to take your jacket off so we can get your arms and all that stuff too, okay?
Place your jacket in here.
Which part, Mark?
What?
Do I need to read
Oh, but yeah.
the whole thing?
Yep.
All right, so in the name of the state of Florida, all right, any sworn Kissimmee police officer, Osceola County Sheriff's Deputy, Orange County Deputy, sworn investigator of the State Attorney's Office of the Ninth Judicial Circuit Court of Florida, special agent of Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, or any sworn police officer, deputy sheriff acting under a mutual aid or cooperation agreement with the Sheriff's Office of Osceola County. Whereas before me, the Honorable Judge, it's hard to read his handwriting, of the Ninth Judicial Circuit of Orange County, Osceola County, the sworn written application affidavit search warrant has been made on this date by Detective Moore of the Kissimmee Police Department, assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division. And whereas the facts made known in this application and search warrant, there may be cause to certify and find probable cause to believe that certain evidence, to wit, DNA, genetic material, buccal swabs from you, Stephen Michael Sterns, blood, saliva, or epithelial cells to be collected from you, Michael Sterns, photographs and swabs of your penis, and clothing worn by you as of right now. All right, this is evidence. This is believed to be evidence of the felony crime that we've already talked about that took place in Florida, which is a violation of statute 7940114B and 8270715A, prohibiting the crimes of sexual battery, possession of material depicting sexual performance of a child. Currently exists within Orange and Osceola County, and is presently believed to be under your control, Stephen Michael Sterns, and that the law relating to said offenses are possessed on you, who is more specifically desired below, and then it has your name and date of birth and social. So Stephen Michael Sterns is your first name, social is birth 4/25/1986, and you're a white male, black hair, brown eyes, 6'2". Now therefore, the law enforcement officer named above, which such lawful assistance as may be necessary, you are here commanded in daytime, nighttime, or on Sunday, as the exigencies of the situation may require, to enter and search the above listed person that we talked about earlier, with the taking of the DNA material, buccal cells, through a buccal swab, which will be done by the appropriate personnel and will involve no unreasonable intrusion into or upon the body of you, Michael Sterns, for which the evidence is to be collected. The person and evidence requested is reasonably believed to be engaged in or connection with the said illegal activity we talked about earlier. For this evidence described in this warrant and in the same of any part thereof to be found, you are hereby authorized to seize, secure, collect, photograph, examine, analysis, and videotape said evidence in this search warrant. All right, after we're done, a proper inventory receipt will be given for any evidence or property seized, and a completed duplicate copy of this search warrant will be delivered to you in control of the property searched, or in the absence of any such, we will leave a copy, but you're here today, so we'll give you a copy of the search warrant.
All right. And then it just states that we have to do the search warrant return within 10 days after executing the search warrant as of today. All right. This will be your copy here. So go ahead and stand up. She's going to go ahead and take some pictures of you.
If you could stand just in front of the wall here. And if you could put your hands out like this and turn them over. Do you want me to take off his watch? Yes, that'll work. And your hat also, please. If you could open your mouth. Take off your shirt. Turn around, face the wall. Put your hands behind your back. Put them together like you're praying. There you go, just like that. Go ahead and spread your feet for me. Thank you. Oh wait, let me get a picture. I just want to see something real quick. Did you get a really good picture of this right here? This whole area. It's probably under the... Yeah, I just want to make sure. Okay, that area too, please. Can you take one like that, please?
Hey, turn around, Steven.
Good.
Did you guys get a picture of his car on his stomach?
She got a full frontal, yeah.
It's gonna need to take... Yeah.
We can help out just by pulling your pants off your ankles or your toes.
Try not to let the pants touch the ground, please. What's this in this pocket here? Just your wallet?
Yeah.
Lift your foot, please.
Sorry.
You got it. We need to search these again before you take them to make sure that there's nothing else in there.
What do you want me to do?
I just want to make sure that we search these again before she submits them. Is there anything else in these pants that we need to know about?
Do you want me to take these off?
Just I still need to get underwear. Do you guys want that?
Yes, we do.
Where's my phone?
What bag am I going to put these in when we take them off?
They don't
The
come
same
out
as
here.
his pants.
We're done.
No, we need them separate.
Separate?
Yeah.
have
Mara,
to
can you get
take
another
them.
brown paper bag from the drawer? What we're going to do when we take off the boxers is I'm going to take them off. He's going to stabilize you to make sure you don't fall. I don't want the boxers touching the floor at all, so I'm going to hold them up. You'll remove one leg at a time, just like you do your pants, okay? And then do you have a suit? Okay. We're just waiting on one more bag for your pants. We're trying to keep you exposed for as short a time as possible. Thank you. All right, ready? He's going to stabilize you. Go ahead, first leg out.
I'm gonna take the belt out of here and put it in. Okay.
Okay, second leg out. Thank you very much.
Go on, Joey.
All right, and then there's certain things we're looking for, so we need to find the marks. Don't do anything squirrely, man. You will eat the carpet. Do you understand? Can you take a picture of that marker too, please?
You got another one under?
Okay. Well, I need like a flashlight or a light or something, please. Where am I? Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're
Yes,
okay.
Can somebody else flash her? It was on this side, right here somewhere.
Okay.
See?
Okay. I don't see it. Can you show me the freckle, please? You know what I'm talking about, Mara?
It's the one you took over there.
That was a freckle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your
Sorry.
answer for my... Is it on this side, you think? Turn this way for me, please. Face me. Light on. right here. Back the light up a little bit and put it like more towards the center. Right there. Flipped. Okay, let's take a picture of this mark right here, please, if you can see that. It could also be on the skin down here when he gets erect. It's like getting, you know what I mean? Any other marks? That like freckle thing right there?
I thought underneath.
Can we take it? Okay. Underneath where?
Do you have those pictures?
So we have this one, which I believe is the one that she saw over here.
That's that one.
That's the dark one.
Yeah, you can't really see
Right
it too
there.
well with him not being
Oh,
erect.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. The one that we're trying to find is this down here.
Oh, gotcha.
So it might just be.
Let me see how much hair is. Can you zoom into that?
It's right where the hairline starts.
Alright, like, do we have a deputy out there with a real flashlight?
No.
No.
If you think of the skin. And it could just be that the hair got thicker too, you
Or it
know?
could have been he had an ingrown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have the look though.
And then he has freckles on his leg.
Yeah, we can take the birthmark or whatever it is.
Can we take a picture of the other side?
You wanna check the pictures before we put clothes on and make sure?
Okay, so we for sure got this one.
Yeah, the black freckle mark.
Yeah, we got that. The other one could be an inline hair. This trimmer. Can we take a picture? Well, we're not able to see it with it not being erect. I don't think there was anything else that I really saw.
Okay. Did we get whatever was under the Band-Aid that you wanted to see?
Did you guys take the Band-Aid off?
I took it off
Can we see? Let's take I think.
Let me get the
Okay,
swabs
yeah,
first.
Go ahead.
Since you're already in there.
Yeah. And definitely the head of his penis too, please. Do you need where my hands are? Turn around for me, please. It's okay. So I just want to make sure we'll get these clothes on him, and then I want to make sure that the marks on his hands are still. I'll steady you. He's gonna help you. Or you want me to do it and you steady him?
The front or back?
That's the front.
That's in the front. Yeah.
The clear left, clear right. Thank you. No, I'm bad. That's right. Should be like a flip spot in there if you want.
It's a onesie, yeah. Oh, hold on, let's wait a second. Yeah, as long as his front is covered, head wrap. Okay, sorry, we just need to look at your hands again. I don't know if you can view the pictures you already have. I want to make sure that we have this stuff for them to include that scratch.
You got one on the inside. I don't know if you can see that one.
Yeah, she has some right here too.
And what's the inside?
Right there.
What was the cut on his thumb that he needed a bandage?
It's right
That
there on
was
the
this
right
one.
side of the cuticle.
This?
Yeah.
Are we doing finger swab?
What's that? I don't think it was in there.
No. Isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see any other injuries.
Okay.
But I mean, it was in the dark too. So.
Do you guys have everything you feel like you need?
Do you want to review?
Yeah.
You want to just have a seat for a minute? Let him take a, here, let me pull it out for you. Let him take a look at the photos, make sure we have everything so we don't have to make you do all this
The
again.
handcuffs are digging into my joints here.
which
I'm trying
one?
to find it comfortable. I'm trying to get it to a comfortable position.
The right hand?
The left one's the most uncomfortable. I
Okay,
think.
face the wall for me so I can see.
The right one, I just got it to a better position.
This one's too tight.
Yeah, I think so. Do
Do me a favor, have a seat. Let me swap my gloves because I don't want to touch my collar while in these gloves. And
Yeah.
I'll swap them out and then I'll get you new ones.
Thank you.
I'll be with you in a second.
Okay.
Hold on, let me take this glove. Alright, stand up for me, please. I just want to make sure that main line is, you know what I mean? The main line on the wrist is seen. All right, go ahead and move forward, spread feet, wide, 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 more, there you go, just like that. I'm thinking. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that still okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, have a seat.
She's very smart too, so let's get her opinion. But I think
Yeah, we're going to.
She's gonna take a little bit of swabs of your hands, okay? So when she's ready, we'll have you stand up and just face the wall, and then it's easier for her.
Let me just go ahead and stand up.
That's okay.
Yep, you can stand up right now. bend your right thumb towards your palm? Yeah, thank you. Now if you could bend your left thumb towards your palm.
None of us. Why are they asking?
Thank you.
And then you got her neighbor? Yeah.
All right, buddy, you sit up.
Hey, just so you know, your wallet's gonna go to jail with you, and whatever change you had, some like loose change in your pocket, I just tossed that in the wallet too. Okay? Are you done with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need any more water?
More water would be great, thank you.
I'm gonna help you out, but I'm gonna go slow because I don't want you to choke. Okay?
Is there any way,
Good?
any way these can be in front of me?
No, sir. We do not do that. Sorry about that. Just a little bit. Come on, stand up, face the wall for me, please. We're just going to swap out your cuffs. You're not going to go anywhere quite yet. So he's going to put on a pair of directly under these. It's going to hurt for a minute, but he's going to take them off. Just bear with us. Unfortunately, they're not made for comfort.
No, I'm just gonna zip it up all the way. Can you stand up for me, please? You can face me. I'm gonna try to cover you as much as I can, okay?
Is there any way to have my arms through the holes in the handcuffs?
No, sorry.
Just getting really claustrophobic like this. I feel like I'm in a computer sack.
We can leave your chest exposed a little bit.
It's more just my arms being...
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's not going to change.
It's not a hard drive at all.
This is his copy. Yeah.
Last sip of water before you go?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, okay.
Please and thank you.
All of it?
We won't go on until we get it done.
Thank you.
Would you like some more?
Go on.
Okay, head out there, just wait with her. She'll get you a little bit more water, and then I'm going to check this room, and we will get out of here. Step forward for me.
And so a few hours later, she finally comes out of the. I'm communicating with her before this, and so I got to go get something to eat, and got to use the restroom. The station's locked up. I can't get in. And she said, well, they said, go up to a Wawa or something. I said, okay. And the next thing you know, no, they're going to let me out and go to get something to eat. So she comes out, and demeanor is just matter-of-factly, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car, and we're talking, and we go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking, this is a woman who just learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last 2 years, and she's acting towards me like nothing's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like another day, another evening out, we're just spending time together. That entire time, and then I take her back to the police station, and then she's done with her interview. The detectives come out and say, hey, we want to talk with you. I said, fine, there's somebody who have a conversation with me. Arrange for her to get in the car to stay with Sailor. And I go up and have my conversation with Alex, and then I go back to the car, and I'm going to take her back home because she needs a ride home. And even her demeanor of coming out with the detectives is just like, everything's fine. And
Did she act like that during previous contacts with you guys, whether it be last month, last year? Was it the same kind of interaction?
Yeah. If anything, this is the most interaction I've ever had with her. Because when she came here, I never really interacted with her unless we're having a meal together. And so we're leaving and I'm taking her home. And I kept thinking as we're talking, I'm expecting her to just blow up and start beating the shit out of me or scratching me or chewing my ass out. But no, none of that. I kept waiting for something to explode. And matter of fact, as we're leaving, before we went downstairs to the lobby, Stephan handed me his pocket knife and said, "You better hang on to this." That's okay. And then I threw it into the console of my car as I'm leaving. I look down and I see this knife, and I go call Alex and say, "Hey, Stephan gave me his knife that's got it in the console. Maybe you should have it." So I swung back around and took it to her, and I didn't get any questioning from her. "What are you doing that for?" You know, I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, and we left. Took her back, and everything. She's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem. It's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different. And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex. Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them. And I said, "Well, this is really unusual conversation to hear this from a mother. That if you ask anybody else, what would your reaction to be?" I said, "I would be batshit crazy beating somebody up," and that was not the case. And then I saw the interview. And I said, I keep thinking, if I saw that interview Tuesday and they called me, I said, no effing way would I have gone to Orlando, because I would have seen for myself like everybody else did on YouTube. They weren't buying the story.
Let's close with Romans 5:14. Yet death ruled over mankind from Adam to Moses, the lawgiver, even over those who had not sinned, as Adam did. Adam is a type of him, Christ, who was to come, but in reverse. Adam brought destruction. Christ brought salvation. So that was an interesting journey, looking at almost all of the events of February 28th. I mean, we've listened to other audio interviews, and we're still just trying to track down as much as we can get. To tell you the truth, I don't know what else we're going to get. We're still waiting from different agencies and entities, but I have no idea what else we're going to get or when. We'll see. October 14th will be here before we know it, only a couple of more weeks away when Sterns' hearing is scheduled. I keep checking to see if it's continued or something. Of course, I couldn't plop everything into one video. I don't want it to be too long, but I did want to examine the events side by side, Sterns and Jennifer on that same pivotal Wednesday before he was arrested. And boy, the more I listen, the more I, catch things I hadn't caught before. It's just really creepy. It's really weird. So this is one fascinating trial I'm really looking forward to. And of course, in the background, I am taking days off to really request FOIA and body cams and videos for different cases. So that's why sometimes I'll go away and I'm really digging in, trying to get all these other cases that need attention. And FOIAing is not an easy deal, let me tell you. We will see what I get. Thank you so much for always watching, and just stay tuned. Take care.